iPhone or a script. He was from the heart.
And Viggo Mortensen, the two of them together were great.
I wanted him to win Best Actor.
But Rami Malek deserved it for Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
That was outstanding. His performance was outstanding. That's the only thing that held that movie together. Although it was good, but it's just Green Book, though.
Everybody should see Green Book.
It's so timely because all these other movies that involve race are very one-dimensional, like our culture is about race. Whereas the racial and class undertones of Green Book were a setup for characters, two men, because this is a true story, who actually transcended race and class. So I just thought the movie was so well done, but it was so timely, too. And Peter Farrelly, the same guy who did There's Something About Mary, did Green Book. Wow, what range.
And there was some, discussion of that he was being improper to women on the set during the shooting, so they thought they'd have to get a new director, but they didn't. They stayed with the script. It was a beautiful film, and I'm so happy that it won. You talked about no hosts. So at the beginning, you had the three ladies come out: Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, and Myra Ruiz.
So I had Myra Randolph.
Maya Randolph,
yeah. So who's married to a great filmmaker.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Who?
Uh-oh.
Here we go. 312-642-5600.
Punch Drunk Love, right? The guy who did Punch Drunk Love, and a bunch of other films. Isn't that Hotel Budapest? Why am I blanking on his name? It's not Hans Christian Andersen. I know it's not that, but it's one of those like three name guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They have 4 kids. But anyway, this is what she said when she was up there with the ladies, because they were joking around that there was no host, but she got a little dig in.
So just a quick update for everybody in case you're confused. There is no host tonight. There won't be a popular movie category, and Mexico is not paying for the wall.
And people laughed, and then they did cutaways. I mean, it was
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson, folks.
I knew I was close.
Don't need to
Christian
call
Anderson.
But that got, that was a little political. And Spike Lee, when he won for, what was it, original score? Not original score.
Screenplay adaptation.
Screenplay adaptation. First Oscar that he's ever won.
We saw a little bit of a reaction to the Green Book win.
Well, that's not it.
I'm snake bit. I mean, every time somebody's driving somebody, I lose. But they changed the seating arrangement.
This is it. Ready, Dan?
The 2020 presidential election is around the corner. Let's all mobilize. Let's all be on the right side of history. Make the moral choice between love versus hate. Let's do the right thing. You know I had to get that in there.
So re-elect Trump?
I know. And then he had that goofy ring on that said hate, love. And he kept showing his fists.
Mars
shot.
Blackman is exceedingly tiresome. And by the way, to compare Driving Miss Daisy, in case you missed the reference to
the
Green Book, is to compare apples to oranges. But okay. I mean, I expected that indulgence. That's why I watched, to the extent I watched it, I was working and I just watched it with the sound off because I was just looking for the victors. If they could just release the winners and have no show, I would be fine with that because I really don't want to watch it. I know that you.
I thought it was
though.
great without the host, and I loved the singing. Jennifer Hudson did a great song. Bette Midler, but Lady Gaga and Bradley
wait a second.
Cooper.
Bette Midler can't go unremarked upon. I mean, how old is Bette Midler?
She looks great for her age.
She looks better at 70 than she did at 40.
I know. She's lost some lbs, and she has a wonderful plastic surgeon.
She does.
Well,
There's no question about that.
Come on, please. That is, folks, I hate to tell you, that's not natural, okay,
Did
for
you
her
see
age.
there was a mosquito that landed on her forehead, and then it just wilted to the ground.
Stop it. But Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, wasn't that intense? I mean, I would love the way that it was shot behind them, looking out into the audience. It made it more intimate. And then when he got down on the bench and sat next to her and started singing, it was just absolutely beautiful. And I'm glad she won for Best Score. Thank you. That's all I have to say. And if I was Bradley Cooper's wife, I'd be a little concerned. Because while you were gone, I hate to tell you the bad news. Lady Gaga's brief relationship with her manager is over. They broke off the engagement.
I think she should hook up with Ariana Grande, who's also looking for a significant other, apparently. And in terms of Bradley Cooper's wife, no.
No, what?
She has nothing to be concerned about. Put those two pictures side to side.
They're a little different.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you miss the open enrollment this year? I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time that eliminates the mandatory maternity coverage. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other carriers. If you're over 50 and are covered by the Affordable Care Act, you're paying for maternity coverage every month whether you want it or not. In Chicago, the least expensive PPO health insurance plan under the ACA will cost $572 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $7,900 before your bills are paid at 100%. I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity coverage and lower your monthly premium to $278 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $2,500 before your bills are paid at 100%. That's a savings of $294 a month and over $5,000 with my lower deductible. For a free quote and to see if you qualify, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
I always do this. So, Maya Rudolph is married to Paul Thomas Anderson. I was referencing the movies that were made by Wes Anderson, Budapest Hotel, Punch Drunk Love. Paul Thomas Anderson is Boogie Nights, Inherent Vice.
Okay.
So I just want, I've been off for a week, so I'm a little rusty. I'm still getting back into it.
Well, way to feel sharp and focused, Dan, is to take balance of nature and do it especially during the winter months when everyone's coughing and sneezing and you need to give your immune system a boost. And a great way to do that is with fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. Look, we're all busy, and it's hard to get enough fruits and veggies in our diet. Admit it. And that is where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. Folks, you've heard the testimonials. People have asked me about them on the street. Like, is that real? Does it really work that well? Well, I met the owner, Dr. Douglas Howard. He showed me the emails and played some voicemails for me of real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. And that should be you. Don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And you can get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751 or online at balanceofnature.com.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we were talking a little bit about the Oscars last night, and Let's go to our Oscar correspondent on the South Side. Verlon, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
How's it going? Welcome back, Dan.
Wait, Verlon, who were you wearing last night?
Just scrubs.
Okay.
I was at work.
All right. Very good.
I normally don't call in and talk about celebrity news, but I was so jealous. I wanted to choke Bradley Cooper to death looking into my future wife's eyes in a 24-second stare. Now, I really, really was jealous. But my wife, Lady Gaga, has one of the most sexiest noses and faces in the business. And I want to ask Amy a question. Who has the most sexiest face and nose? Because it comes down to two people for me. Lady Gaga,
Jimmy Durante,
and Barbara Streisand.
Ooh, you know what?
Oh, my gosh. Verlon.
When the first two met, they actually took a picture of each other doing the profile and the nose thing because...
Yeah, I know. It was a big thing in the whole movie about how she's treated so badly because she's got the nose. Verlon, do you work with industrial chemicals at your job?
No.
Huh. Okay.
No, I think Lady Gaga.
Barbara Streisand or Lady Gaga.
Well, Barbara Streisand looked beautiful last night. You talk about somebody who's aging well with the help of a plastic surgeon. I mean, she's really...
Oh, don't. Oh, Amy. What? I knew you were going to throw a jab in.
That's not a jab. It's called the truth.
Verlon,
she's 85. Come on.
No, yeah,
how old is Barbara Streisand?
Timeless.
But yeah,
ageless.
no, I actually thought that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga were going to make out. He was sitting on her lap.
I've been hooked on Barbara Streisand since Yentl.
Writing credit, Roger Ebert. Thanks for the call, Verlon. Appreciate it. Yeah, Yentl. She was a real sex pot in Yentl, Verlon. What is wrong with that guy? That's great. All right, switching gears quickly. I over my time off, I found a community that makes worse electoral decisions than Chicago.
It's not possible, but I'd love to hear about it.
Ex-Port Richey, is Port Richey, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Port Richey mayor, held without bail, says he didn't mean to shoot at deputies.
I shot the sheriff.
Port Richey mayor Dale Glenn Massad, arrested at his home on Thursday morning, charged of practicing medicine without a license, which is a problem. But when sheriff's police showed up to take him into custody, he opened fire.
On his own deputies?
So now he's also being charged with attempted murder. So
wait, let me guess. He's still in office. They're looking for his replacement now, but he still has powers from prison.
He says that he needs to let the process take place. Sure, he's innocent until proven guilty. No rush to judgment and all of the other things you say. He's shooting at deputies. His attorney said is totally out of character. For him. That's not the Dale Glenn Massad I know.
That's not the one we elected as mayor. It's a different side of him.
So, since we're on the eve of a mayoral election here, and it's going to be depressing from this point to the April replacement of Tiny Dancer, which has been depressing enough, I just thought I'd give people a little note of optimism that perhaps no matter how bad the choices that Chicago makes, and it will be bad.
Oh, yeah.
There's a place that makes worse electoral choices.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, what sex tape would you like to see? R. Kelly's or Bob Kraft's?
And also, just putting you on notice, R. Kelly's Saturday Night Dance Mixers have been canceled until further notice.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Outside, 9 degrees. 5:30, crews have recovered a second body this morning after an Amazon Prime air cargo jet nosedive into waters off Houston on Friday. Chambers County Sheriff Brian Hawthorne says eyewitness accounts say the Boeing 767 went nose first into Trinity Bay.
We first started getting 911 reports of eyewitnesses that watched it go nose first into the bay. It's in a location called Jack's Pocket.
At least 3 were on board that Boeing 767. Vice President Mike Pence scheduled to meet today with Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido. The vice president's aides say Pence and the man the Trump administration recognizes as the interim president of Venezuela will meet in Colombia. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the president may not accomplish all of his goals during this week's summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Meantime, the president says he's holding off on an increase in tariffs against China. The president Sunday saying there's been some progress on trade talks on significant issues like intellectual property protection with China. Convicted Mexican drug lord Joaquin Guzman will try to get a new trial after one of the jurors who found him guilty said members of the jury ignored the judge's orders not to read media accounts of the case. No one will face criminal charges in the death of a young boy who was decapitated on a water slide in Kansas City. Federal judge has thrown out charges against the owners, designers, and builders of that slide, where the 10-year-old Caleb Schwab died in 2016, riding what was then billed as the tallest water slide in the world. How to Train Your Dragon, this week's top movie at the North American box office. Not a bad weekend haul, $55 million. Movies from last year were honored last night at the Oscars. Greenbook, film about famed African-American pianist Dr. Don Shirley. Top winner at this year's Oscars. Film won Best Picture during last night's ceremony. Director Peter Farrelly talked about the film's message.
It's about loving each other despite our differences and finding out the truth about who we are. We're the same people.
Mahershala Ali took home the award for supporting actor for his portrayal of Shirley, who, if you didn't know, is a graduate of the University of Chicago. Chicago area coming off a damaging day of high-speed winds that moved into the region yesterday, including peak gusts of over 65 miles an hour. The winds leaving thousands of ComEd customers without power. Candidates running for mayor of Chicago still pushing for votes. Before tomorrow's election, all 14 spread across the city. Polls open at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Chicago police are investigating after a 17-year-old boy was shot and killed on the south side near 77th and Halstead. And Chicago sports found the Blackhawks rallying from 3-0 down to tie the game late in the third. They fall short in a 4-3 home loss to the Dallas Stars. 5:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity says this is not the same Democratic Party.
This is now a radical extreme party that wants to nationalize pretty much every aspect of our economy. This party is so out of touch. This is a new, radical, extreme, Democratic Socialist Party.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
One of the biggest fears for retirees and soon-to-be retirees, do I have enough? Do I have enough money to last for the rest of my life? I hear it every day when I meet with individuals, and it's for good reason. Check this statistic out. If you were born in 1800, you could expect to live until you were 39 years old. In 1900, 49. That number jumped to 68 in 1950, and today it's 79. How many people do you know that are in their 80s, in their 90s? Hi, this is Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on AM 560. So how do you help ensure you never run out of money in retirement? The answers are in our special report, Maximizing Income in Retirement. In this powerful report, you'll discover successful tools and strategies on how to help turbocharge your income in retirement and how to position and protect your money regardless of what happens in the stock market. Call now to receive this report, Maximizing Income in Retirement, and will include 6 strategies to tax-free income. Call the Alpha Wealth Group, 630-519-4742 right now to receive your free report. That's 630-519-4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 4343 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 4343. Enjoy.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
5:36 and a check on the roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
We're seeing mild delays now on some of the inbound expressways. Stevenson is a bit tight. The area between Pulaski and Kedzie. Inbound Ryan, there's a delay. 18th to Burn Circle. 17 minutes from 95th to downtown. I-57 still good. Bishop Ford got about 2 or 3 minute delay from Cottage Grove to the merge. The other expressways are okay at this hour. The tollways as well. No problems. Freeport on I-80 or in northwest Indiana. In south suburban Harvey, there is a fire. This is around 158th and Lathrop. Not far. The intersection 159th and Holstead. West side of Chicago, there's a crash reported. Madison and Laverne. No Bulls traffic on the west side tonight. Bulls and Bucks. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. And your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Sunshine giving way to clouds later in the day. Brisk and bitterly cold, a high of 19, but wind chills will be below zero. 6 above officially at O'Hare, 8 above along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 6. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
John Kask suggests that maybe what Chicago really needs is ASMR. Put a little blotch here and here, and everything's happy in the city of Chicago.
On AM 560.
Beautiful lakefront.
The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So this weekend, R. Kelly learned a whole new meaning to the phrase bump and grind.
Oh, hey-oh.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he was arrested late Friday night. And I've never seen this. He actually took a party bus to Cook County to turn himself in. To the police department. I mean, have you ever seen that? He had his entourage with him. They get out of the Sprinter party bus van, and yeah, it was
right.
good stuff.
But only one man enters Cook County Jail.
Exactly.
This is where we part company. Entourage.
Bye.
Yeah.
We'll try to get you your payment, but the judge posted bond at $1 million, which means he has to come up with $100,000.
Right.
And he doesn't have it. He's in a little bit of a financial mess.
Well, he's in a financial mess, that's for sure. I expect he will bond out today. I mean, his attorney, Steve Greenberg, poor-mouthed R. Kelly to influence the jury. Not that there isn't some truth to the fact that, I mean, this is stunning to me. When I heard about, the alleged struggles to come up with $100,000 to bond out, Forbes pegged his net worth last year at like $1 million. $1 million. This is a guy who's like one of the best-selling artists of all time, and he's got his net worth is $1 million and maybe worse. It's rather stunning. But then you contemplate all of the situations he has created for himself, and all the terrible decisions he made. And I've talked about this before, like that monstrosity of a home on Olympia Fields Golf Course.
Oh yeah,
because we see it now. It's owned by one of the Isley brothers. I mean, first of all, he took a bath in the house. Secondly, he destroyed it and just walked away, left the keys.
Yeah, like an animal. Just trashed the house and left.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, broken windows and mirrors. I heard a thing, carpet torn up, stuff on the wall that we don't even want to know. But the charges against him are just sickening. I mean, he has been charged with 10 counts of sexual abuse. 3 of the 4 victims are minors between the ages of 13 and 17. And one he actually met during his trial in 2008 because he had fans there at his trial.
Right.
And he met an underage girl there. And then he met another girl at a birthday party, a 16th birthday party.
At that encounter, the victim told Robert Kelly it was her 16th birthday that day. Robert Kelly's manager then gave the victim Robert Kelly's business card with Robert Kelly's personal cell phone number and told the victim Robert Kelly wanted her to call him. The victim's mother heard this and took the card and told Robert Kelly's manager that the victim was only 16. The victim later got that card from her mother's purse and called Robert Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, look, if a 50-year-old shows up to your 16-year-old daughter's birthday party by himself and says, I'm a friend of the... of the
creepy.
Then, you may think something's amiss. Here's the thing about this. I have the same question about R. Kelly that I do about Ed Burke with respect to law enforcement. Where have you been? R. Kelly has been open and notorious about his predatory conduct, just as Ed Burke has been open and notorious about his predatory conduct for generations. And per these charges that date back to 1998, where was law enforcement?
Well, it took that show, the Lifetime show, the R. Kelly show. That's why this is all rise to the top. Because now Michael Avenatti is involved. He's representing two of the families who are victims, allegedly, of R. Kelly. And he says there's more.
We are aware of 2 other tapes in existence, one of which we have recovered. We will be providing those tapes as well.
Don't care what Avenatti says because he's a pathological liar and a carnival barker. He's not an attorney. So, we'll see what he produces or doesn't produce. But listening to Michael Avenatti is without point.
And the one tape, though, that he did produce, that's the reason why R. Kelly's in jail this morning, had to do with a 14-year-old girl. And he was with her, and they kept saying on the tape, my 14-year-old organs. And he kept referencing her 14-year-old body multiple times. You can, unlike the other tape, I've been told by someone who saw this tape that this one is crystal clear. You could see R. Kelly, you could see the girl, and then, of course, he did a signature move at the end.
Well, Steve Greenbook is his attorney, and he held a presser to describe the circumstances of R. Kelly's bond, as well as sort of to address the allegations in some general way. Here's Steve Greenbook suggesting there's no reason to believe these women.
One of the charges appears to involve the same alleged victim from the earlier case, and double jeopardy should bar that case, and he won that case. A jury acquitted him, fair and square, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also he tried to make it sound like as if it was consensual, but if you were under 18, it's not consensual sex.
He did not force anyone to have sex. He doesn't have. He's a rock star. He doesn't have to have non-consensual sex. He's a musician.
Wow.
And it's an accusation. So we're going to look at the evidence and we're going to see where it takes us.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so that's the problem. Roman Polanski didn't have to, but he did. Woody Allen didn't have to, but he did.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of high-profile people that didn't have to do the things they did, but did them anyway. So that's not particularly convincing. But again, remember, his audience is not us. It's not the Chicago or National Press Corps. It's the jury. Greenbook also, again, talking about Kelly's ability or inability to post bail.
This is someone who should be wealthy at this stage of his career. And through mismanagement, through people hangers on and bad contracts and bad deals and bad leases like he had in his studio, he really doesn't have any money at this point. I don't even think he owns the rights to I Believe I Could Fly.
So he sold the rights to some of his most popular songs, apparently. Here's the thing about that. Good. I'm glad. I hope what Greenbook is saying is substantially true, that he is without significant resources because he won't be able to buy his way out, and he should end his life in destitution. He should. Because you know why?
Yeah,
he's a sexual predator. That's
right, he is. And I don't even want him to have another trial because he might pick up some other chick at his next trial. Owes $160,000 in rent and owes his ex-wife $170,000 in child support.
And now at that press conference, there was a very entertaining exchange between Jim DeRogatis and Steve Greenbook. DeRogatis is he's basically a music reporter, but he's become sort of a music/investigative reporter because he's been on this R. Kelly story for a while. He's got a book coming out about it, apparently. And Steve Greenbook made mention of that, which ratcheted up the conversation between the two.
We have to look at what happened. I know on one of the cases, there are a number of interviews where the young lady says, I lied about how old I was. I lied to him about how old I was. And then recently said, oh no, I lied about lying about how old he was. We'll have to look at it.
She showed him
the ID, the fake ID, then showed him the real ID. Don't misquote a victim, Mr. Greenberg. Don't misquote a victim. That's not what she said.
Well,
she initially lied to him, then she showed him a state ID. She was here today. Did you see her in tears while the charges were read?
So you have a book coming out, and
Yeah, it's
I
got
hope
facts in it.
you sell lots of books.
I don't give a about selling a single book. I've talked to that woman, and I've talked to 47
What else is
others.
your question?
I'm not Mr. Avenatti, and I'm not you.
Okay, so let's
In other
try
words, I'm
and
not a
keep it
scumbag.
professional,
I mean,
and
but
don't
you just
and
called
don't
the victim
swear at
who
me.
cried in court a liar. You
Well, just
called
because
the
they
victim.
cried doesn't make them truthful. I said we're going to look at the evidence, okay? We'll look at the evidence,
correcting
and
the record of what you said.
we'll look
She
at the
admitted
evidence.
when
Let's
she
keep
lied.
it.
She admitted
Let's
when she
watch.
told
Let's
truth.
watch the swearing, okay?
I know. I'm sorry. You're upset.
Just the most important thing DeRogatis said, in addition to calling him out for mischaracterizing what the alleged victim had said, was that in his forthcoming book, he's talked to 47 women.
47 different women. Please.
This is going to end horribly in terms of what the full truth of R. Kelly's exploits. It's going to be even more disgusting than it already is.
Well, you said, didn't you go to an event and he was there and it looked like he had a
Yes.
young...
This was in 2008, during his trial for the other charges, which that's not me on the videotape defense
Right.
worked.
And actually, I saw that videotape and I couldn't tell 100% if it was him. Sorry. Or the girl. She looked young. I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, so that's 10 years ago now. Where has law enforcement been? You think you want to pay attention to what this guy's doing? You want to follow up on other people who maybe you talked to but didn't want to come forward in the first trial to see if he's back to his exploits? Because somebody like him is going to be back to his exploits.
Oh, yeah, because he's sick.
It's really indefensible to me. But, okay. But at R. Kelly 2008, during the trial, Cicero Stadium for Fight Night boxing. I'm there with some of my goon friends. He walks in with his Sprint bus full of
the party
hangers
thing.
on.
Yeah.
And on his arm is a girl, maybe she was 16. Disgusting. But here's the thing about this. You understand, like, this is the last frontier of identity politics, is the sexualization of children. Pedophilia. Where the left has been working, we've referenced op-eds from Salon.com and other left-wing outlets. The left has been working to mainline and mainstream pedophilia for some time. I mean, this is how. So you don't want to pay identity politics. You're afraid. You don't want to speak up. Is there anything more predatory? There's a couple of good pieces I'll make reference to. One is from Stella Morabito in thefederalist.com. Your 7-year-old is next on the sexual revolution hit parade. 2 main avenues to legalizing adult sexual relations with prepubescent children to designate as a sexual orientation, and the other is to lower or abolish the age of consent, which is where this is going. And we'll get to Bob Kraft and prostitution because that's sort of like a midpoint step to this ultimate place that I'm discussing here. Public acceptance of sex with children, the next domino to fall, writes Stella Morabito. And she talks about what we've seen on television. Parents from Long Beach, California to Queens, New York, taking their toddlers to drag queen story times at local libraries. Some, like the mother of a 9-year-old Lactatia, now actually groom their boys to be drag queens and encourage them to get their other children to do the same. Media outlets spread the idea. For example, Good Morning America recently celebrated an 11-year-old drag queen who danced suggestively on the show and does the same at adult nightclubs. The studio looked groomed to be a picture of middle America. They cheered his gyrations on cue and approvingly. We've talked about the sex education at the grade school level in places like Evanston, Skokie School District. Talking about, I mean, I'd be disgusting at less than 6 o'clock in the morning, but talking about anal sex to mid-schoolers. It's insane. Here, Rod Dreyer, listen to this, more on terms of culture, and that's what drives this. Rod Dreyer, writing in the American Conservative, about new Hulu comedy, Pen 15, which is written like penis.
Yeah.
The 7th grader, Maya, is playing with two My Little Pony dolls. mashing their pink plastic faces together in a fantasy makeout session. When her face flushes pink too, for maybe the first time, she sticks a hand down her underwear. And for the remainder of the 30-minute episode, that hand rarely reemerges. Suddenly, Maya's suburban middle school existence is pulsing with masturbation triggers. A pencil hole drilled into a purple eraser, a classmate's ear hair, the curve of a sand dune in a nature documentary.
Excuse me, hands on the table, please.
Well,
I mean, that is just disgusting.
The film 8th Grade on Netflix, or the film 8th Grade, the Netflix animated comedy Big Mouth, lustful adolescent girl having her moment. And remember, Hulu, which is where this comedy airs, is soon to be majority owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Which has a third stake in Hulu at present. So, I mean, that's where this is going. And it's been, and the left is patient and relentless. So you're going to hear the R. Kelly defense at some point from somebody to say it was consensual. You've already heard Steve Greenberg
he
indicate
alluded
so.
to it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Candace in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin.
Morning. Okay, so LGBT has invested over $50 million into Texas to lobby the public schools there, and you should see the stuff that they are teaching. There's a video of a teacher who went through 7 hours of trans training for first grade sexual education, and she said to the instructor, "Are we going to tell the parents about this?" No, they're not going to give anything, but you should see what they were teaching them. She ended up quitting her job. She couldn't take it. She's like, "This is so wrong." But anyway, they are infiltrating through the public schools. She had a map on her video. Everybody should look it up at massresistance.org. And she showed the maps of the places who have had to go through the training. And she's organizing parents against all this ghoulish, trans library, reading with the trans. And they're winning wherever they organize. But, I mean, they can't do it everywhere. And parents just need to know that this stuff's going on.
Well, they can do it everywhere. And here's the thing.
Yes, I agree.
Here's the sad thing is they're not infiltrating. They're doing it openly and in full view of everyone. They're doing it proudly. They are not couching it. It is not some Trojan horse that they're wheeling up to the schoolhouse doors. That's the scary thing. It's just people are willfully blind or afraid or some combination of the two. Thanks for the call, Candace. Here we go. All things Trump from Philip in Blue Island.
Good morning. Keep R. Kelly. Keep him locked up. He's been a menace to our community for too long, and not just our community. I think just to Chicago.
Yes.
But when you look at Epstein and his connection with Trump and Clinton, not to be partisan, I think there's a nation. I don't know if it's a nationwide problem, but there's a problem with powerful people with money who think that having sex with children and underage people in our community, I think they have to be. I mean, look at Epstein and all of these people who are just.
Phil, let me stop you
crazy.
there. Let me stop you there because we're going to have a rare moment between the two of us, where we completely agree. And Jeffrey Epstein, the pass that he got, the deal that he got, was unconscionable. That guy should be in a cage for the rest of his life. Totally agree. Thank you, Philip.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. If you're looking to refinance, please call Team Hochberg. Mike, self-employed, lives in a $1 million home in Glenview, called to refinance and combined his $500,000 expiring adjustable rate mortgage and a $100,000 HELOC. Mike planned on moving when his daughter graduates high school in 5 years, so to help Mike afford his constantly increasing and ridiculously expensive real estate taxes, I recommended an interest-only loan. Mike was hesitant at first, but after I explained his monthly payment would decrease over $1,100 a month, he told us to immediately get the ball rolling. If you're interested in lowering your monthly mortgage payment, like Mike, call the local mortgage experts right now on Team Hochberg at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com.
Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
The auto show is here, and that means the lowest prices of the year at Joe Cotton Ford. Saving you money, real money. Thousands of dollars is what we're about, and our auto show specials will prove that to you. Like these. New 2018 Ford Focus SE, save $7121, now just $13,999. Or the all-new 2019 Escape SE, save $6,000, just $21,495. Brand new 2018 EcoSport SE, save $5,000, just $18,995. Or get 0% for 72 months. And check out the all-new 2019 Ranger. It's a beauty, in stock at great prices. Come see why we're Chicagoland's best Ford buying experience. It's our promise to you. We'll treat you great and save you money. From 3 generations of our family to yours, you have our word on it. At Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com.
Stock number is 5043, T9063, T8575. Through 2/28/19, all prices plus tax, title, license, and dock fees. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
At 6:06, our disgusting sex talk continues with Bob Kraft.
But now head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Strong winds slammed the Chicago area, 6 displaced by a West Side fire. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Some surprises at the Oscars. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The Oscar goes to Greenbook.
It won Best Picture and 2 other Academy Awards on ABC, including Mahershala Ali as Best Supporting Actor. Many thought Roma might win that top movie prize. It got Best Foreign Film and Best Director. An even bigger upset, Olivia Colman won Best Actress for The Favorites.
It's genuinely quite stressful.
Now, she beat out the favorite for the award, Glenn Close. Rami Malek won Best Actor, one of 4 Oscars for Bohemian Rhapsody. President Trump leaves for Vietnam today, where he'll sit down a second time with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, trying to get him to give up nuclear weapons.
He has a chance to have a country that is so vibrant economically.
Senate Democrats put out a statement wanting the president's meeting with Kim to demonstrate tangible, verifiable progress. The president is also hoping to soon meet again with China's leader. Optimistic their trade talks are going well. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, President Trump extended the deadline for reaching a trade deal with China, citing substantial progress during a week of talks here in Washington.
We put ourselves into a position of strength.
The president could meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping at his Florida home to finalize an agreement.
China has been terrific. We want to make a deal that's great for both countries, and that's really what we're going to be doing.
If an agreement isn't reached, the Trump administration could increase tariffs to 25% on $200 billion of Chinese goods. Dave?
Rachel, there's much speculation. Special Counsel Mueller is wrapping up his Russia and Trump campaign investigation. Congressman Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the House Intel Committee, tells ABC's This Week he wants the final report public.
We will obviously subpoena the report. We will bring Bob Mueller in to testify before Congress. We will take it to court if necessary.
The president just tweeted, "We have a state of emergency at our southern border," but tomorrow House Democrats will vote on their resolution to try to block his emergency declaration. This is Fox.
8 degrees, 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Wind chills well below zero this morning after Chicago comes off a damaging day of high-speed winds that extend into this morning across the region. Peak gusts yesterday about 65 miles an hour, officially 64 in Sugar Grove, a gust of 59 at Midway, a gust of 61 at O'Hare, and officially a gust of 62 at Wheeling. Candidates running for mayor of Chicago pushing for votes ahead of tomorrow's election, all 14 spreading across the city yesterday, courting voters in a race that could come down to the slimmest of margins. R. Kelly still in a Cook County jail after being indicted on 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse against 4 victims. His lawyer is Steve Greenbook.
Not there because of any medical reason. He's not suicidal or anything like that. I think it's just easier for the sheriff.
Greenbook says the R&B singer continues to be held in a private cell. Actor Terrence Howard continues to stand by his Empire actor co-star Jussie Smollett after he was accused of staging a hate crime last month in Chicago. However, Fox Entertainment has suspended Smollett from Empire and removed his character from the last 2 episodes. 6 are hurt following a multi-vehicle crash in Chicago's Loop. The driver lost control and then slammed into a parked vehicle and a bus shelter in the 500 block of South State. Longtime pizzeria in South Chicago closed after it was severely damaged in a fire. Blaze breaking out yesterday in Capri's Pizza near 88th and Commercial. Flames then spread to 2 other nearby buildings. Blackhawks rally from 3-0 down to tie the game in the third, but fall short in a 4-3 home loss to the Dallas Stars, a critical loss. They now trail the Wild by 5 points for that final Wild Cards playoff spot in the West. The news service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. Want to recharge when you travel for business? Get a boost and stay at La Quinta by Wyndham. You can charge 5 devices in-room and recharge yourself with a pillow top mattress and a bright side breakfast. Book now at LQ.com and win a business. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures. More snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Marvel Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
You know what's fun?
refunds. And using my tax refund to save big at Family Dollar, where you can save $5, $10, and $20 with Family Dollar Smart Coupons. This week, 12-pack Pepsi products, buy 3 for $10. Angel Soft Bath Tissue or Sparkle Paper Towels, $4.50. And Tide Liquid or Pods, $2.95 with your Family Dollar Smart Coupons. Sign up today. Download our app or visit FamilyDollar.com, where Family Dollar is refund.
36 days. That's how long it takes the average company to find their next hire. Glassdoor can help you quickly find the right job candidate in half the resumes. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. And Glassdoor hires are committed. They're 30% more likely to stay with your business longer. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
Believe it or not, spring is just around the corner, so now's the time to get those home projects done so you can spend spring and summer being with your loved ones. Home Advisor makes it so easy to find the right pros for any project. Whether it's a small project like fixing a leaky faucet or a big project like remodeling the whole kitchen, just go to HomeAdvisor.com. Tell them about your project. In just a few seconds, you'll be matched with the best pros in the area for the exact job. You can read verified customer reviews, compare prices, check availability, even book appointments online. And with their project cost guide, you can check what others paid for similar jobs in your area. No matter what home project you've been thinking about, painting, getting your gutters cleaned, even a real big job like a new roof, Home Advisor makes it easy to find and hire the very best pros in your area. Find a great pro now before the busy season hits. Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started. You're going to love Home Advisor being in your corner. Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free Home Advisor app and get started.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Staples has the supplies you need to run your business like a boss. Now save $70 on the Epson EcoTank 2750 printer with up to 2 years worth of ink included. Plus, trade in your old printer in store and save an additional $30. Ends 3/2/19. See store for details. Staples.
It is 6:08 and a check on the roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
In Kenosha County, westbound 94 is closed between Highway 142 and KR. Traffic diverts to the frontage roads. Re-enter at KR. Harvey, there's fire at 158th Lathrop, not far, 159th Holston. Kennedy inbound delays from Cumberland to Foster. It's 24 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 26. Traffic's heavy on westbound 190 as well. The Eisenhower's running 35 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 16 minutes, I-80 to the merge mission 422. Southbound I-65 has delays. Crash before 205th Avenue. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Sun giving way to some clouds today. Brisk and very cold, the high 19. Clouds and frigid tonight, flurries in a low of 10. Flurries tomorrow morning, a bit of snow by the afternoon, accumulating a coating to an inch, the high tomorrow 26. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Officially 6 at O'Hare, 9 along the lakefront, 7 in Aurora, where our wind chill this morning is minus 11. Your next news update is at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So, the billionaire owner of the most successful franchise in NFL history winds up at a place called Orchids of Asia in Jupiter, Florida, for a rub and tug over a little vacation from the Northeast, and finds himself enmeshed in a police sting of human trafficking in South Florida.
Well, the good news is he had a driver drop him off the 2 times that he went to visit, but it was a 6-month investigation. He was one of 200 men, and yes, they do have tape of a sex act.
The question was, does the video contain Mr. Kraft inside receiving the alleged acts? The answer to that is yes.
Please don't release it.
Please.
That is descriptive enough.
312-642-5600. Who wants to see the tape? No, I'm just kidding.
77-year-old Robert Kraft also has a girlfriend about half his age.
Right, and because his wife died in cancer in 2011, and
Yes.
everybody rallied around him because they were, together for decades. But I don't know if he's still with his girlfriend. I haven't heard reports how that's working out at home.
Among those lesser known, but just interesting because there's a lot of people on the list. They're all declaring their innocence, including Bob Kraft. Boy, I don't know if they have tape.
Yeah.
I may want my attorney to negotiate a deal on that so that doesn't become public, although it's a matter of public record, so at some point it probably will. Billionaire equity firm owner from Massachusetts, John Childs, he's wanted on prostitution, charged in Vero Beach as part of this sting. Former head of Citigroup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, another one. Also, a former pro golfer and the boyfriend of Jessica Korda, who's an LPGA player. Yeah, Johnny Del Prete, I think.
He was caught in that sting, too?
Yeah, he was arrested Friday as a part of this sting involving human trafficking in Florida.
And it's, people who hate the Patriots are taking selfies in front of that place. I mean, you see Jets fans there taking pictures saying Kraft and cheese. I mean, the place was packed yesterday.
Do you think that's weird, people taking selfies in front of that house of ill repute in that strip mall?
Because it's more than just the sex acts themselves. This could be human trafficking. The women were mostly from China, a few from Vietnam.
It was clear that multiple women were working and living inside the spas. They were cooking on the back steps of the business. They were sleeping in the massage parlor on the massage tables. They had no access to transportation.
So they couldn't leave. And a lot of them are here illegally. Well, they're taken from their countries here, and now they're trying to work to see what they're going to do, if they're going to send them back to their homelands or work on some T visas that they could try and get.
There's 10 of these massage parlors, brothels, shut down in the Orlando area, Palm Beach County, and the Treasure Coast. 6-month investigation. And there's also reporting that Bob Kraft is not the biggest name that will be ultimately revealed. We'll see. I mean, you have people that are captains of industry that have been named, but obviously they're not household names the way that Bob Kraft is, kind of, sort of. So what about this? What's the response?
What's Roger Goodell going to do? Because in this Me Too era, you have to do something. I mean, it's a misdemeanor in Florida, believe it or not, but since he lives out of state, there's different charges that he could face, but I don't know what they mean.
The charges are sort of secondary. It's the moral turpitude that's the question. And so, per NFL policy, get some kind of fine the same way like or some kind of suspension the same way Tom Brady got a suspension for cheating. By the way, did you see the meme going around?
No, what's the meme?
The prostitute that serviced Bob Kraft.
Yeah.
Tom Brady in a blonde wig.
Oh, I did see that.
All right.
But President Trump weighed in because President Trump, they're very good friends, and Kraft has been to Mar-a-Lago several times.
He's proclaimed his innocence totally, but I'm very surprised to see it.
I'd be surprised, too, if I found out one of my friends was visiting a brothel. A $6.6 billion friend.
John Havens, by the way, CFO of Citigroup, was one of the other executives that was snared in this probe.
It's so strange to me that rich men have bad behavior, exhibit bad behavior.
That's strange to you, or are you being sarcastic?
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, okay. But what's the response to this? Because I will tell you that one of the responses, we were just talking about it at the R. Kelly situation. The cultural response is what, in part? Legalize prostitution.
Legalize prostitution?
Why not? You just we're rushing to legalize drugs. We're rushing to legalize, sports betting. We got
casinos probably here.
I mean, we got the sexualization of children that's going on. We got all this gender bending. J.B. Pritzker just instituting the order to put tampon machines in boys' bathrooms for menstruating boys.
You got to be kidding me.
Oh, by the way, menstruating boys, the name of my high school band.
High school band.
Pet Shop Boys cover band.
Menstruating boys.
Yeah. What? Did I say something wrong?
Yeah, I'm
So-
trying to figure that out in the
So
blonde head of mine.
So my question is, legalize prostitution, right? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. What is a consensual transaction between two adults? Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. Welcome back to Chicago. How was your trip to Jupiter, Florida?
Yeah, it was not in Jupiter. Thank you. But and even if
I
I was, I wouldn't be at Orchids of Asia. But thank you, Mike.
I kind of wish you would have taken Philip from Blue Island there, because he has a Trump fetish. He needs a broad. Doesn't have to be a good-looking one, just something with a heartbeat. And I wanted to say, please inform Candace from Wisconsin that she has to differentiate between the LGBTQ community and the LGBT party. We don't condone that. And as a welcome back gift, I'm not going to mention Lionel Putz that took your place while you were gone. But
Lionel Putz. Lionel Putz, I get it.
Oh, okay. But one of your least favorite human beings in Chicago, Scott Cizik, was caught sending Nazi material on another candidate. I want to know if he's keeping his job working for the county board.
Isn't that that's Preckwinkle's campaign manager, right?
Yeah. And, I know you know the guy, and I know you don't have a high opinion of him, so I know this would just make your day.
Thanks.
Well, he's
thanks
been
for the call, Mike.
removed.
Yeah. Jeff in Cal City. Sin City, once upon a time.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and thanks for coming back, Dan. I just wanted to say this is the easy way to get rid of the Illinois tax burden. Just have J.B. Pritzker legalize prostitution.
Yeah. Well, right. Exactly. Thanks for the call, Jeff. I mean, you wouldn't get rid of the problem, but
It'd probably go under entertainment tax, maybe. So I was thinking 9%.
Well, yeah. I mean,
because they've taxed our, Fortnite.
Why not? I mean, we have
we do in our own home.
Well, here's the argument. We have strip joints.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same argument similar argument that's made for legalizing dope, which is alcohol. So alcohol, why not pot? So strip joints, why not prostitution? Right? That'll solve it. Take these massage parlors off the black market and into the legalized arena of commerce. What do you think? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Chip in St. Charles.
Yeah, they should tax murder in Chicago. Anyway,
exactly.
To the Democrats, there's no emergency as far as human trafficking and sex trafficking are. There's no emergency on the border. I'm not saying that these women came across the Mexican border, but we know it goes on down there, and the Democrats, that's no emergency down there to them. It's all good. So
that's a good point. Thanks for the call, Chip. That's a really good point. I mean, yeah, they can come in on ships through ports of entry. Probably not through airports, but yeah, so ships, but also come across whether it's the Canadian border or the border with Mexico. I mean, does this stuff upset you at all? That women are, and young girls are being trafficked to be sex slaves? Is that a problem? And if this is just a minor offense for Bob Kraft and the others, a fine, walk away. I mean, is it shameful at all that people like Bob Kraft and others who know better are participating, fueling sex trafficking? Is that problematic? I mean, isn't that the real issue?
I mean, that place was busy. 200 guys in 6 months? Yeah, it bothers me.
200 guys in 6 months.
Probably.
I mean, 200 guys, they probably do 200 guys a week.
Yeah, Bob Kraft did go twice, so I mean.
But this is...
Right, they're just supporting a human trafficking.
This is
whether they know it or not.
Consenting. It's just fascinating to me. People don't want to weigh in on this. It's fascinating. It's consenting adults. It's to each their own. And later in the show, I'll get to this maybe. But what the wrong question we ask about Bob Kraft, about R. Kelly, about Jussie Smollett, others perpetrate hoaxes and whatnot, or commit crimes, and you think they have everything to lose and nothing to gain. And you say, why? What's in it for Bob Kraft? Why would he do that?
Why would he risk everything for that?
And you're asking the wrong question when you ask the why question. If you want to understand the why answer, you have to ask the who question. Who does Bob Kraft live to serve? Who does Jussie Smollett live to serve? Who does R. Kelly live to serve? What are they operating in service of?
Their number one priority, which I believe is themselves. They don't care who they hurt or who they take down in the process, as long as their ego is fed and they get what they need.
Read, if you haven't already, read C.S. Lewis's riff on Men Without Chests. That's the cultural problem here, and these are just very high-profile manifestations of it. Men who have no heart and no heart connected to no mind. You just have appetites. You just have lust that must be satisfied at all costs and at all risk. That's the fundamental issue going on here that you won't hear about, they won't talk about. We'll talk about the mundanities of the particular charges he's facing and what could happen with Roger Goodell in the NFL and the penalties in the league, and the same thing with Smollett. Is he going to be written off Empire? Not going to be written off Empire? Missing the entire cultural point. Most everyone is, except here on this show.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. The working class is the backbone of our society. Because of sky-high taxes, Chicago working class is being forced to run for the hills for cities that are more open and tax-friendly. The laws should apply to everyone, not just a few. I propose that politicians who pass insane tax laws give up a portion of their own paycheck as a penalty.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
All right, I'm in. And who's doing it with me? Of course, I'm talking about Balance of Nature. I ordered my bottles of fruits and veggies. and I started taking them just a few days ago. And why am I doing it? Well, I have to admit it. The truth is that I do not get enough fruits and veggies every day, and that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies in a capsule. There's no preservatives, and it helps boost your immune system all winter long. You've heard the testimonials on this air, and I can tell you they are real. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard. He's the founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He showed me the emails, played the voicemails from real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy. And that should be you. Don't wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And you can get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use the promo code Chicago for 35% off your first set of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology or frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart and other fine retailers.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman and Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman and Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Did you see this? Martina Navratilova is no longer an LGBTQ member in good standing.
Yeah, haven't certain groups been separating themselves from her because she told the truth, folks?
She broke free from the LGBTQ orthodoxy on men competing in women's sports in a Times of London Sunday op-ed. To put the argument at its most basic, a man can decide to be female, take hormones if required by whatever sporting organization is concerned, win everything in sight and perhaps earn a small fortune, and then reverse his decision and go back to making babies if he so desires. This is hard to read because of the pronoun usage, but it's insane and it's cheating. It's insane and it's cheating, writes Martina Navratilova. I'm happy to address a transgender woman in whatever form she prefers, but I would not be happy to compete against her. It would not be fair.
Yeah, it's an unfair advantage for trans women to compete alongside biological women.
Mm-hmm. So the Sunday Times op-ed from Navratilova is worth a read. That's the highlight, and this is what has generated all the opprobrium and directed at Ms. Navratilova. But it couldn't have happened at a better time because it was just a couple of weeks ago. Andrea Yearwood, 17-year-old junior at Cromwell High School in New Haven, Connecticut, one of two transgender high school sprinters.
Oh, no. Oh, they're back. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
She finished second in the 55-meter.
You mean he?
Yeah.
She
Yes,
finished second.
Exactly. Now they got me doing it. So this dude finished second in the 55-meter dash at the State Open Indoor Track Championships in Connecticut. The winner? And so they say, she finished second. He finished second. Well, he finished second to another dude named Terry Miller of Bloomfield High, who set a girls' indoor state record of 6.95 seconds.
These are the same two dudes who won the outdoor spring track meet last year.
Yeah.
And now they're setting because they have indoor track seasons.
They got the 100-meter state
gosh.
championships. They won the 300 this season.
See,
So they're piling up a lot of hardware, those two dudes running women's track.
But the thing is, they're going to probably get college scholarships, and they're going to take scholarships away from real biological women.
Martina Navratilova on the outs, pun intended.
I love it. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, tomorrow is Election Day.
We're going to talk to former CPD Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy. He's one of the two Garys on the show today, both of whom cannot spell their first name correctly. This is Garry, and then we got Gery, Chico, at 8:35. But Gary McCarthy at 6:35.
And later, weed killer in your wine. We'll explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
6 degrees above, wind chill of 15 below. Senator Marco Rubio taking a hard edge this morning and calls for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro to step down. The Florida Republican tweeting a photo yesterday of a bloodied Muammar Gaddafi moments before the longtime Libyan dictator was killed in public in 2011. President Trump says North Korea will have a chance to give up its nuclear weapons when he meets with Kim Jong-un this week. Meantime, the president says he's holding off on an increase in tariffs against China. There's progress on trade talks with China on big issues like intellectual property protection. No one will face criminal charges in the death of a young boy decapitated on a Kansas City water slide. Federal judge has thrown out charges against the owners, designers, and builders of that slide, where 10-year-old Caleb Schwab died in 2016. What was billed as the tallest water slide at that point in the world. Greenbook, a film about famed African-American pianist Dr. Don Shirley, top winner at this year's Oscars. Film won Best Picture during last night's ceremony, beating out Black Panther, The Favorite, Vice, Star is Born, Roma, Black Klansman, and Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's about loving each other despite our differences and finding out the truth about who we are. We're the same people.
Mahershala Ali took home the award for supporting actor for his portrayal of Shirley, who is a graduate at the University of Chicago. 4 tornadoes reported in the South on Saturday. One person killed in Mississippi, where fire coordinator Ricky Cummings says the area continues to pick up after being hit hard.
We got about 9 houses with structural damage to them. One trailer that is destroyed, had a tree through it. Most of the houses, shingles are off of them. We do have one house that the whole roof is gone.
Chicago area coming off a damaging day of high-speed winds that moved through the region yesterday. Peak gusting of 65 miles an hour. Strong winds left thousands of ComEd customers without power. R. Kelly still in a Cook County jail after being indicted on 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse against 4 victims. His lawyer is Steve Greenbook.
He's not there because of any medical reason. He's not suicidal or anything like that. I think it's just easier for the sheriffs.
Greenberg commenting on the R&B singer being held for the moment in a private cell. Chicago sports, Blackhawks fell to the Dallas Stars 4-3. Bulls host the Bucks later on tonight. The news service of Staples, the final week of Staples' chair event. Save up to 40% on a huge selection of chairs for your home or office. Now, the Staples Merit Desk Chair is just $99.99. That's a $70 savings. Ends 3/2/19 while supplies last. Staples. 6:33 is our time, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says we can learn from the fake beating case.
The damage that this guy caused with this horrible, horrible accusation. If we haven't learned anything, we should learn that the media better stop jumping to conclusions. We need to stop jumping to conclusions. Everybody needs to stop jumping to conclusions. We need a wake-up call.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material material handling facilities, including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Question: do you have a health insurance plan you are not happy with? Well, Bethany and Jason thought they were stuck. Their plan just kept getting more expensive, and Bethany's favorite doctor didn't even take that plan anymore. And then some friends at church told them about MediShare.
With our previous insurance, we were paying $1,200 a month. With MediShare, we now pay around $600 a month.
Yes, they're paying $600 less per month, and that's a pretty typical savings with MediShare. And they actually like MediShare more.
I was able to go back to my original doctor that I absolutely loved, and it's just been an absolutely beautiful thing being a part of MediShare.
Yeah, so they pay a lot less and they like it more. No wonder MediShare is growing so fast. Find out more. They're super easy to talk to. All you have to do is call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
6:36 and a check of your morning roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here's Jim.
On Chicago's south side, 63rd Street is blocked between Stony Island and Cornell. It's closure of Cornell as well after we're told suspects in a carjacked vehicle crashed into two others. Addison, blockage of Addison Road, Lakeford and Oak crash. Kenosha County, westbound 94, that's northbound, it's blocked. Highway 142 to KR, crash. Traffic diverts to the frontage roads. Southbound I-65 has delays. Gate Road 2 to before 205th Avenue. Rollover semi in the left lane. Eden's 20 minutes, Lake Hook to Maltras. Kennedy 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 35. Dyke 40 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson 45 minutes, 355 to the drive. Traffic, I'm Jim Calamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, sunshine gives way to clouds later. Brisk and bitterly cold. High of 19. Flurries tomorrow. 6 above at O'Hare with a wind chill of -9. Your next news update is at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay.
And I inhaled. I did inhale.
On AM 560.
I think that it gives a lot of people joy, and we need more joy.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So it is mayoral primary election eve.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Well, that's what it
It's
is.
true, yes.
And you've got, it seems to me, it's still, and everything I've heard, is still sort of up in the air. The front runners are ostensibly Preckwinkle and Daley, although you've got 5 or 6 candidates that are, bunched up within a couple points of one another, including our two guests this morning, the two Garys, Gary McCarthy, who's coming up next, and Gary Chico, who's at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour.
And Lori Lightfoot, she's seemed to have surged in the polls.
I think it helps enormously. We're talking about, at this point, a game of inches, meaning that, a few votes here or there, I think, are really going to make the difference.
And don't you think there's a possibility we might not know who our next mayor is on Wednesday?
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It might take Wednesday to Thursday to possibly Friday.
This is a Chicago election.
Oh, I know. I understand that. But,
yeah.
I mean, we've got a lot of absentee ballots that need to be counted. And
It's there was 2 scenarios, right? One scenario was this election would ultimately be a couple or 3 people separate from the pack and really put distance between themselves and the next tier of candidates. That hasn't happened. What's happened is you've got these 5 or 6 candidates that are bunched up. And so, yes, it could be a very few number of votes that separate 1 from 5, for example. And Lightfoot has benefited. She benefited last week, I saw, in this exchange she had with that dope from the Northwest Side.
Oh yeah, I got her on at like 6:30 in the morning. I said, "You've got what she did was spectacular."
Yeah, Martwick. So Martwick is one of the useful idiots that the political ruling elites use to do their dirty work. So he sponsored this legislation to make the county assessor appointed rather than elected, which is obviously a Preckwinkle / closed network power play. And Lightfoot let him have it. He pushed back against her, and then she came over the top. And she wins that exchange because she did a nice job of exposing Martwick for who he is and commenting on the system for what it is. And so the real divide, it seems to me, in this election is between what's become known as the Burke Four, Preckwinkle, Mendoza, Daley, and Chico.
Yeah.
And, arguably you could throw in Jerry Joyce there, too. And then sort of insider, outsider candidates, including McCarthy, Vallis, Willie Wilson, Lori Lightfoot. That seems to me the divide, but, that's just one pundit's handle on it. By the way, no offense to our next guest, but how fun would it be if Willie Wilson and Bill Daley were in the runoff together, and then you could settle the mayor's race with a game of Scrabble? Gary McCarthy, former Chicago police chief, joins us now. Gary, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, morning, Dan. Good.
Morning.
How you guys doing?
Morning. So give us your closing arguments here as we sit on election eve before we get into some specific questions.
So I guess, the first thing I'm thinking about today is I just listened to the weather report for tomorrow, and we're talking 20s and some light snow. And I'm thinking to myself, the only general election in the country in the month of February. And it's just all about the gamesmanship here in Chicago. This is what we do. And, the process has produced an anointing of a mayor for decades here. And I think Chicago is waking up to it. And it's time for change. And Dan, I kind of agree with what you just said about the separation between, the has-beens and the have-nots, if we want to put it that way, with where we're bunched up in the pack here. It's does Chicago want to change or does it not want to change? I'm hearing Chicago wants to change. Everybody realizes that we're in a world of hurt in, 10 different ways. And if we always do what we always did, we'll always get what we always got. And that's the message that we've had from the beginning. By the way, it's almost a year that I've been out here campaigning, and I feel really good about it. The polling shows that, like you said, virtually any one of us could pull this thing off. Just depends on who's got the horses at the end.
Yeah, and what do you want to say to the candidates who jumped in after Mayor Emanuel announced that he wasn't running again?
Amy, I've been talking about this for months. Two things. First of all, everybody has this love for Chicago and they've got the answers. Well, did they have that love for Chicago? And did they have those answers in August? Or did it only come to them in September when Rahm jumped out? I've publicly used the word cowards. They're political cowards and they're political opportunists. They're not doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it for themselves. Anybody who couldn't take on Rahm, how are they going to take on the problems of Chicago?
Speaking of one of the problems of Chicago being violent crime, I wanted to get your reaction to this. This legislation introduced by one of your competitors, LaShawn Ford, and I was reading about it at Second City Cop blog. This is about Terry stops, and his legislation, Ford's, I'm reading from the synopsis, provides that a peace officer shall not stop any person in a public place based upon an officer's inference from the circumstances that the person is committing, is about to commit, or has committed an offense. The Terry stop, which has been recognized by the Supreme Court, but I'll let you get into details. But this is rather remarkable. An officer shall not stop any person in a public place based on an officer's inference that the person is committing, much less is about to or is committing. Like in the process of committing a crime, the officer still cannot. So we're just supposed to. All right, would you shoot that guy already so that we can investigate after the fact?
Dan, this goes to the direction that we've been moving in for a long time. The ACLU and the Department of Justice have somehow determined that the Supreme Court ruling on Terry versus Ohio is irrelevant. and that's what we're hearing again. I mean, the Supreme Court says that we could do it, and other people are going to go against it. It's such a confusing world out there. Data-driven policing is what's been reducing crime in this country now for decades in places like New York and Los Angeles, certainly not here in Chicago because we can't get out of our own way. And we want to eliminate the data. People are talking about eliminating the gang database, which is a cornerstone of how we got the lowest murder rates in the city since 1965, knowing who the gang members are and who they're in conflict with, so that when there's a shooting, we know where the next shooting is going to occur for the retaliation. This is insanity. I mean, that's the only way to put it.
How do you feel about the legalization of marijuana and using that revenue to help the budget deficit?
I'm okay with it, Amy. I think, it's time we kind of fold the tent on marijuana. But the thing that I'm concerned about is twofold. In places like Colorado and California, they don't have municipal banks that they could deposit the money into. And as a result, it's a cash-only business. And that causes robberies and shootings to go up. The second thing is in Colorado and California, just like wise guys or white-collar criminals launder their money, the cartels are doing the same thing with the legalization out there. And we don't want to foster any sort of furthering of the cartel's business. So if we close those two back doors, just do it, get it over with, because this is a fight we're losing.
I want to get to some issues other than crime control. Interesting survey out from Civilis. This is a global real estate services provider. The best tech cities in the world. And I mean, I hear from the folks at 1871 in Chicago that's putting Chicago on the map. We've got Groupon here, and we got satellite offices of Google, and so everything's going well. Chicago's a big tech town, I understand, I'm told, except I don't see Chicago on this list of top tech towns in the world, and this was across a number of variables: business environment, tech environment, talent pool, real estate costs, mobility, and places like Santiago, Chile, Dublin, Ireland, Berlin, Seattle, Toronto, Austin, Boston, San Francisco, New York. They're on the list. Chicago not on the list. Is the Chicago as the tech boomlet? Is that another false narrative?
I don't think it's a false narrative, but I think that there's that potential to kick it into high gear. Honestly, I've gotten to know Neil Sales Griffin a little bit, and he's a tech entrepreneur, and I think that potential is here. I've spoken to a number of people, and obviously this is not my forte, but I would hire somebody along those lines to really create that incubator here and figure out what it is we have to do to kick it up to the next level, because there's opportunity there. And one of the parts of our platform that I have talked about is the fact that I want to bring back the vocational schools. And with it, I want to put technology in there also, not just plumbing and electricity and carpentry and auto repairs or whatever it is that they do now. I want to include technology in there. So I think there's definitely opportunity. I don't know how we take it to the next level, but I'll get the people who would know that, and we can make it happen.
How do you feel about reducing the number of aldermen?
I mean, it's not a fight that I'm willing to take on right away, because obviously there's plenty of battles to be fought. But what I will say is it doesn't seem to make sense to me that in a city like New York, which is 3 times the size of Chicago, I believe there's 47 or 48 aldermen. So I think that there's problems with the aldermanic prerogative. I think there's problems with no term limits. I think there's problems with the fact that you can be a tax attorney and an alderman. And some people have been saying, very interesting to me, that people who are running for 2 separate offices at the same time are saying that the alderman should not have an outside income. In other words, they shouldn't have 2 jobs. Only I can do that, right? But as long as there's no conflict of interest, I think they could have an outside job. If you want to run a hot dog stand, knock yourself out, as long as it doesn't impact on conflict of interest. Look, we're in a city where there used to be a title in city government called patronage officer. I want you to just think about that for a second. We said it. This guy is in charge of patronage, and it was a title here, and we thought that was okay. So, the whole corruption issue revolves around a number of things in city government, and the Chicago way, which is we're not gonna fix anything here until we fix the corruption. And I can guarantee you If the FBI has 18,000 recorded conversations, which is what's been publicly said regarding Danny Solis wearing a wire for 2 years, we're going to see a hell of a lot of people getting locked up over the next 2 or 3 years. Because they don't play, and they cross every T and dot every I. So the opportunity is now. Chicago has such an opportunity. If we don't take it, shame on us.
Well, and this goes to the larger issue of just the size of city government, the cost of city government, the number of employees, the salaries, not to mention the benefits packages they make. And that's where, 80% of the budget goes. It's personnel costs and associated personnel costs.
Yep.
So are you willing to go places where other people fear to tread? For example, I mean, the L.A. Police Department has fewer police officers than Chicago. And obviously, L.A. is a more populous city, more spread out city than Chicago. So are you willing to look at restructuring the police department in addition to other departments in city government to reduce costs?
Sure. As a matter of fact, Dan, I was in an ongoing process of restructuring the police department. If you remember, I eliminated the top 2 slots in the department. Well, not the top 2, but 2 slots right at the top of the department, assistant superintendent and deputy superintendent. And I also consolidated 6 districts into 3 districts and 5 areas into 3 areas. So, I mean, that was something that I was undertaking. I will do the same exact thing with city government. On day one, every employee will submit a resume of what they do, how they do it, why they do it, and why them. So we could start rooting out some of this patronage that has dogged us for years. I'm pretty certain that we're going to find people with no-show jobs. I think it still goes that deep. And every single aspect of government will be examined, and we will bring business management and performance-based government to a city that's done everything politically for decades. And that will be a sea change in government here. I think it'll be a wake-up call for everybody in the city, and that's exactly what we need.
All right. He is Gary McCarthy. The website, get more information on his candidacy, Gary, Garry, Gary4Chicago.com, Gary4Chicago.com. And Gary, good luck tomorrow. We appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Amy.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yep. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Keith Peters in for Lou Dobbs. Trump administration bolstering America's farmers, Oregon teeing up mandatory rent control statewide, and Southwest Airlines bounces back. Those stories next.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or more importantly, if you sign up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called Medi-Share, and Medi-Share is a Christian healthcare sharing program. It's been around for 25 years. They have more than 400,000 members now around the country. And get this, over the years, Medi-Share members have shared more than $2 billion of each other's medical bills, so they could help share your needs too. And best of all, you could save a lot of money with Medi-Share. The typical savings for a family is around $500 a month. Your savings could be more or less, but think about what you could do with that extra money every month. So if you think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have much to offer, think again. You can join Medi-Share anytime, so call them today and check it out. There's no pressure. They're super easy to talk to. 855-41-BIBLE. That's 855-41-BIBLE. 855-41-BIBLE.
Even as U.S. and Chinese negotiators continue their efforts to resolve trade conflicts, the Agriculture Department has been taking steps to offset any impact the tariff battle might have on America's farmers. $7.7 billion has already been paid out. Oregon Governor Kate Brown this week is expected to sign legislation making Oregon the first state to impose mandatory rent controls. Lawmakers say they're reacting to rent increases of up to 100% because of an influx of people moving into Oregon from other states. Southwest Airlines got back to normal over the weekend after winter weather and a computer outage delayed and canceled hundreds of flights late last week. The airline has also been plagued by mechanics union issues. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
You're probably not thinking about back to school season right now. In fact, most parents with kids in school are more likely to be thinking about spring break. But now is the best time to think about where you'll be sending your son or daughter to school this fall. It's a big decision, and you may have felt like private school simply wasn't in the budget for your family. Well, think again. We want to tell you about halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find local private schools from all over Chicagoland. that are offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price with no catch. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. It's that simple. HalfPriceSchools.com has schools located across Chicagoland, including St. Paul's Lutheran in Brookfield, Kingswood Academy in Darien, Westminster Christian in Elgin, Faith Evangelical Lutheran School in Antioch, Midwestern Christian Academy of the Northwest Side of Chicago, on the Northwest Side of Chicago, and Kankakee Trinity Academy in Kankakee. Make private school affordable for your family for the first time this year. These vouchers will sell out. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Get ready for Tango, the one, the emotion, the Argentine Tango Show with Orquesta Típica La Juan D'Arienzo live, performing in the United States for the very first time, and live in Chicago for a unique show at the North Shore Center of the Performing Arts in Skokie, Friday evening, March 8th at 8. Experience the sensational sound and motion of the pure Argentine tango, taking you for a journey into this most revered romantic genre of music, poetry, and movement. Hear tango music just like it sounded in its golden years in the middle of the last century. Don't miss Orquesta Típica La Juan D'Arienzo, accompanied by 3 world-famous tango dancer couples. You must act now for this single show opportunity. Seating is limited. The show is Friday evening, March 8th on International Women's Day. Tickets available now. Online at northshorecenter.org or stop by the box office at 9501 Skokie Boulevard. You can also call North Shore Center box office at 847-673-6300.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health.
To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
When you hear the word divorce, a lot of thoughts go through your head. The emotional exhaustion, confusion, the extra demands, loneliness. It's not a fun subject to talk about. So many people have or are currently going through a divorce. You may be one of them, or you know someone who is. Maybe a family member or friend. Now there's some great assistance to get you through the tough times. A BFF's Guide to Divorce can help you or someone you know walk through the divorce process and relieve much of the stress. It explains some of the variables and decisions of a divorce, along with the overall process and terminology. But it also explains how a best friend forever, a BFF, can walk alongside their friend during this challenging time, providing emotional and tactical support. Get a BFF's Guide to Divorce now, for yourself or a friend. It's available from Amazon. To order, go to Amazon.com and search the keywords BFF and divorce under books.
AM 560, The Answer.
So in case you missed it or you boycott watching the Oscars and you boycott news about the Oscars, Greenbook, Best Picture.
Love it.
That's a classic. Some good films. Greenbook, I think, is an instant classic. I enjoyed that film very much, and I saw all the Best Picture nominees except for Vice because it's pointless to see.
You don't need to see Vice.
Yeah.
That was a goofy movie. But I was very surprised that Olivia Colman won for Best Actress. I really thought Glenn Close. If you saw My Wife, she was amazing in it. And she's been up for an Oscar 7 times and has lost 7 times. So she's doing Amy Adams has never won an Oscar, which I find very peculiar. She's a great actress, but
Susan Lucci never won a daytime Emmy. So
which she finally did after 17 times. 17 nominations.
Right.
Okay?
So I mean, Glenn Close has 10 more to go.
Yes. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll switch gears. Di-Fi gets in a scolding contest with grade schoolers over AOC's GND. This is must-hear audio at 7:07.
But first, let's head straight into that newsroom and get the latest from here at home and around the world. Here is Mike Scott.
Strong winds slammed Chicago yesterday and continue this morning. 6 displaced by a West Side fire. 6 hurt in a loop crash overnight. Illinois gets another fiscal warning from the bond agencies, and the Blackhawks lose to the Stars. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
And the Oscar criticism goes to President Trump. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. He tweeted about what Spike Lee said during the Academy Awards on ABC.
The 2020 presidential election is around the corner.
And Lee, accepting the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay for Black Klansman, added,
Make the moral choice between love versus hate. Let's do the right thing.
Well, the Trump tweet called it a racist hit on your president. Then he claimed he's done more for African Americans than almost any other president. Spike Lee was also critical of Greenbook winning Best Picture, but Democratic Congressman John Lewis took the stage supporting the segregation-era movie.
That time and place in our history is very real.
Bohemian Rhapsody won 4 Oscars. Rami Malek got Best Actor. Olivia Colman won Best Actress for The Favorite. President Trump getting ready to go to Vietnam for another meeting with North Korea's leader. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Senate Democrats say they want to see verifiable progress made at the second summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un. Speaking to a gathering of governors at the White House, the president said he has developed a very, very good relationship with Kim.
I'm not pushing for speed, but we're not removing the sanctions. And we're going to have, I think, a very interesting 2.5 days in Vietnam.
The president tweeted this morning, with complete denuclearization, North Korea will rapidly become an economic powerhouse. Dave?
Rachel, the president's also planning another meeting with China's leader, saying trade talks are progressing.
If all works well, we're going to have some very big news over the next week or two.
Well, he's delaying new tariffs supposed to go into effect this Friday. The president also tweeted oil prices are getting too high, urging OPEC to take it easy. Gas prices are up a dime the past 2 weeks. Teachers will be out picketing again in Oakland, California, day 3 of their strike. Yesterday, a TV news crew was robbed doing a story about the strike. A guy took their camera, then shot a security guard in the leg. He was later arrested. This is Fox News.
Skies are clear. We have sunshine, 6 degrees above at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Damaging winds yesterday. Peak gust of 65 miles an hour left thousands of ComEd customers without power. Candidates are running for mayor of Chicago yesterday, pushing out a lot of hot air ahead of the election. All 14 spread across the city yesterday, courting voters in a race that will come down to the closest of margins. Polls open at 6 a.m., close at 7 p.m., and of course, if no candidate reaches the 50% vote, then the top 2 finishers face off in an April 2nd runoff. R. Kelly still in the Cook County Jail. His lawyer, Steve Greenbook, says the R&B singer is being held in a private cell.
He's not there because of any medical reason. He's not suicidal or anything like that. I think it's just easier for the sheriffs.
6 are hurt following a multi-vehicle crash in Chicago's Loop. A driver lost control before slamming into a parked vehicle in a bus shelter in the 500 block of South State Street. Chicago police investigating after a 17-year-old boy was shot and killed on the south side near 77th and Halstead. Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart wants to make sure the public is better protected from people who lose the right to carry guns. Dart is now proposing legislation that would create countywide police units to recover weapons from owners who've had their FOID cards revoked. One of the nation's bond houses is once again not impressed with Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's plan to deal with its budget deficit and unpaid bills. S&P Global Ratings saying that it considers Governor J.B. Pritzker's budget to be dubious. Blackhawks rally from 3-0 down, but fall short to the Dallas Stars, 4-3. Bulls and Bucks on the schedule tonight. The news service of Boost Mobile. With the money you save by switching to Boost Mobile, you'll have more freedom to spend your hard-earned tax return on other stuff. Switch today and get 4 lines each with unlimited gigs for just $100 a month. Plus, get 4 free phones. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save. 7:04. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
And you know my beverage of choice is tequila.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Per doctor's orders, no lie. I went in to have a doctor's appointment a couple years ago, telling my doctor about my tummy, my gut issues. He said, how about tequila? he said tequila's better for your stomach. And swear to God, true story. Now, that was about 2 years ago. Son of a gun, I love it.
The Joe Walsh Show, weeknights starting at 5, right before Larry Elder at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
You know what's fun? Refunds. And using my tax refund to save big at Family Dollar, where you can save $5, $10, and $20 with Family Dollar Smart Coupons. This week, 12-pack Pepsi products, buy 3 for $10. Angel Soft Bath Tissue or Sparkle Paper Towels, $4.50. And Tide Liquid or Pods, $2.95 with your Family Dollar Smart Coupons. Sign up today. Download our app or visit FamilyDollar.com, where Family Dollar is refund.
Some job recruitment sites overload your inbox with resumes. Glassdoor knows not just any will do. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. In fact, Glassdoor hires are 30% more likely to stay with your company longer, and Glassdoor can help you find that perfect candidate in half the resumes. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
Are your windows needy?
Call Crumweedy.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. If you need windows, call the exterior experts, Crumweedy. Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crumweedy run a third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland exteriors since 1953. For them, it's all about trust. They truly share your values. Why windows from Crumweedy? Crumweedy windows are not offered anywhere else in Chicagoland. They're exclusive. That's why they can offer a lifetime material and labor installation guarantee. Lifetime! That's a great investment for your home. Windows from Crumweedy are Energy Star rated, unlike most other windows. Also, the vinyl windows are 100% virgin vinyl. You're getting quality. Windows with a lifetime material and labor installation. If your windows are needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. That's 630-595-8020. Just remember this, windowsareneedy.com. Windowsareneedy.com.
Finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Account Temps can help. With Account Temp's extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit AccountTemps.com to learn more. Account Temps, a Robert Half company.
7:08. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In Kenosha County, traffic is jammed on westbound 94 from Highway 158 to 142. Traffic is forced off the roadway to frontage roads due to a wreck. South side, there are closures at 63rd and Cornell after a carjacking and crash. Edens, 25 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. Kennedy, 42 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 46. The Eisenhower's 46 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 24 minutes, I-80 to the Merge Bishop Ford, 40. Northbound Tri-State Heavy. Plainfield Road to Hinsdale Oasis. The Reagan Silway to North Avenue. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, some sun giving way to clouds, brisk and very cold, the high 19. Clouds and frigid tonight, flurries, low 10. Cloudy and cold, flurries tomorrow morning. Some snow in the afternoon, up to an inch, and a high 26. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 6 above at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 7:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And this exchange between DiFi, Senator Dianne Feinstein, and a bunch of grade schoolers and their teacher, and frankly,
it's hysterical.
The quality of the rhetoric from the grade schoolers and the teacher are indistinguishable.
Were they there to sell Girl Scout cookies and interrupt her, or did they have a purpose and a point to
They
go
were-
to her office?
They were there with a letter that says DiFi should sign on to AOC's GND or else, because we only have 12 years. They've, been fully inculcated with the AOC propaganda. We only have 12 years and they're our future and all that. DiFi, she's in her late 80s now, and she's less inclined to take guff than she used to be, particularly from grade schoolers. Listen to this exchange.
We are trying to ask you to vote yes on the Green New Deal. Please.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We have our own Green New Deal.
Some scientists have said that we have 12 years to turn this around.
Well, it's not going to get turned around in 10 years.
I think that is
What we can
AOC
do
right there.
Senator,
talking.
if this doesn't get turned around in 10 years, you're looking at the faces of the people who are going to be living with these consequences.
The government is supposed to be for the people and by the people and all
You know
for the
what's
people.
interesting
Go to your
about this
room.
group is I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway. I don't respond to that.
Awesome.
I've gotten elected. I just ran. I was
like the heckling
elected
in
by
the
almost a
background. You hear
million
that?
vote plurality. And I know what I'm doing. So, maybe people should listen a little bit.
I hear what you're saying, but we're the people who voted you. You're supposed to listen to us. That's your
How old are
your
you?
job.
How old
I'm
are you?
16. I
Well,
can't
you didn't vote for me.
Well,
Yes.
I'm 24.
It doesn't matter. We're the ones who's going to be
Words mean
impacted.
something.
It doesn't matter. We're going to be the ones who are impacted.
I understand that. I have 7 grandchildren. I understand it very well.
Senator, the cost of
And-
not taking this action is far higher than the cost of what the Green New Deal will be. And there
Here's
is
what-
enormous popularity for this bill around
Okay.
the whole country.
Here's
And we're
what
asking you to
we
be
are
brave and
proposing.
do this for us
Can you
and
get
for
me
your
more
grandchildren.
Sure, get enough for everyone. I'm trying to do the best I can, which was to write a responsible resolution.
Any plan that doesn't
has-
take bold,
Okay.
transformative action is not going to be what we need.
Well, you know better than I do.
Why don't
So
you
I think one day you should run for the Senate.
Great, I
And
will.
then you do it your way.
But by that
But
time,
in the meantime,
by that time, there's
I
going to be a
just,
big problem.
I
We
just
have
won a
letter
big
for you.
election.
This
Now,
is
who dropped their passy?
this is every debate on the Senate floor. I mean, this is so great. A bunch of grade schoolers, grade schoolers that are adults and grade schoolers that are actual grade schoolers having the idiotic fact-free debate where they just sort of exchange catchphrases with one another.
And
It's perfect.
And they think just because they voted for her that she's going to do what they wanted
Uh,
and storm her office like that. Good for Dianne Feinstein.
And speaking of grade schoolers, AOC was
Great stuff. Hey, now.
omnipresent as usual at the Girls Who Code event.
Girls Who Code?
Yeah.
Oh.
She talked about her own insecurities that she had to get over when she ran in the primary, and a mean email that she got that really was freeing for her, because it said, I don't care. It told her, I don't care what people think. I don't care who endorses me. I'm going to step up because nobody else is stepping up. So this is AOC, the boss lady. Listen to this little temper tantrum.
It was every critical, horrible thing that I was already saying to myself, that I was already battling when I was getting up out of bed. It was the voice, it was me looking at myself in the mirror, externalized in an email. And that moment was actually really freeing, because I read it and it was like, it's your worst fear. It's especially when you feel like imposter syndrome. It was your worst fear, feeling like like someone was going to find you out as like a fraud.
Yes.
And I read it and I was like, you know what?
Fraud, yes.
I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Because, again, I'm at least trying.
Wash that man right out of my
and
hair.
they're not. So the power is in the person who's trying, regardless of the success. If you're trying, you've got all the power. You're driving the agenda. You're doing all this stuff. Like, I just introduced Green New Deal 2 weeks ago, and it's creating all of this conversation. Why? Because no one else has even tried. Because no one else has even tried. So people are like, oh, it's unrealistic. Oh, it's vague. Oh, it doesn't address this little minute thing. And I'm like, you try. You do it.
Right. You do it.
Because you're not.
You do it.
You're not. So until you do it, I'm the boss.
I'm the boss. I'm in charge.
Look at me.
I mean, how?
I mean, it's a communist plan that she came up with. No airlines.
Oh.
You have to take a train.
Distinguish her and that rhetoric from those fifth graders in Di-Fi's office. Can you? I can't. All right. To elevate the conversation, maybe introduce some scientific data into the discussion on climate change. We're pleased to be joined again by Bjorn Lomborg. He's the director of the Copenhagen Consensus think tank. He's also the author of the book Cool It and Skeptical Environmentalist. Bjorn, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan, it's good to be here.
So you actually addressed AOC in an op-ed in the New York Post, I remember, from late last month, about the things that AOC could use to inform her understanding of what exactly the science is and then what reasonable public policies in response to it would be. Could you provide your suggestions for our friend Ocasio-Cortez?
Well, I mean, first of all, we need to recognize that while global warming is an issue, it is a real problem. It is by no means the way that it's being typically portrayed, the end of the world. Ocasio-Cortez was quoted to say, we just have 12 years left to turn this around. If not, this is the end of the planet. And it's just nowhere true. This is a problem, but not the end of the world. Let me give you a sense of the size. The Nobel laureate from last year was the first Nobel laureate in economics who got it in climate economics. So he probably knows what he's talking about. He tells us basically what the UN Climate Panel has also said, that if we don't do anything about global warming, the total cost, the total impact of global warming by the end of the century will be equivalent of a loss of income somewhere between 2 and 4%. That's a couple of recessions over the next 80 years. That's a problem, but it's by no means the end of the world. And remember, we'll most likely be somewhere between 300 and 1,000% richer by then. So it is an issue we should tackle, but of course there's a real risk, and that's what her plan does, is basically throw an enormous amount of money at this problem and actually ending up spending more to solve less of the good you can actually get out of the problem. That's, of course, just bad policy.
Well, what do you think is the craziest part of her plan?
Well, I mean, look, and you also had her say this. It's actually, in some way, a wonderful conversation opener because it says what everybody has been sort of talking about for a long time. Let's get rid of fossil fuels. Let's just stop everything. The problem is, Bloomberg tried to make an estimate of how much would this cost. It would cost $2.1 trillion per year. That's pretty much the entire tax intake of the U.S. That's a huge income cost. And what would that generate? Well, it would reduce temperatures by the end of the century, even if she was totally successful, by 0.3 degrees Fahrenheit. So, instead of getting 7 degrees Fahrenheit increase, we would get 6.7 degrees Fahrenheit. We almost wouldn't be able to measure the impact in 100 years after asking Americans to pay $2.1 trillion a year. And that's, of course, why this is just simply unrealistic. That's not a small flaw in her plan. It's, the gaping hole in the plan.
Well, isn't it also a challenge that we're sort of not the main offenders, even though we're the largest consumer of energy? And so unless you got and I'm not suggesting that anybody should buy into AOC's plan, but until and unless you get countries like India and China to be serious about reducing emissions, you're not going to make a sustainable impact on the problem as you describe it.
Yes, exactly. And of course, she would argue back to say, well, we're going to showcase the world how to do this, and we're going to, take the lead, and then everybody will want to follow. But of course, what will actually happen, and we've already seen this in Germany, which tried to do the same thing 10, 15 years ago, they basically made the worst of all possible worlds. They've spent an enormous amount of money and almost not cut their CO2 at all. That's just not the way to lead the world. That's a warning sign. So what the U.S. would show if you were to embrace the AOC plan is basically to tell India this is not how to do it. And that, of course, also tells us how we should be thinking about this. If we were to do what the U.S. has done through its history, you've not challenged issues or you've not changed issues by saying, could you please do less of this? Could you please, you just mentioned, Amy, that we shouldn't be flying anymore. That's just not going to work. And you're not going to solve these problems by saying, could you please not fly? Could you please not turn on the light? Could you please have it less convenient? What you have done is to do this through innovation. If you can innovate greener technology so that it's cheaper than fossil fuels, of course you can get both China and India and everybody else to switch. That's what you've done with fracking, because you managed to find a technology that could basically make gas cheaper than coal. You have reduced coal consumption so much that the U.S. has actually cut its CO2 emissions more than any other country in the world. Now, that's amazing. And, of course, that's not because you're terribly concerned about global warming. That's just simply because it also made great business sense. So if we could get China and India fracking, and, of course, in the long run, if we could get everyone off fossil fuels because we have innovated cheaper green energy, then we can solve it.
Yeah,
that's what AOC and everybody else should be focusing on.
Right, innovation, not Earth Hour 24/7. Let me let me get to this other issue, though, to the argument they make, because you've addressed this before, and it's really important because it plays to the sentimentality of people's approach to public policy. The idea that climate change is impoverishing poor people, further impoverishing them, further continuing cycles of poverty around the globe, including in portions of America. And I remember scholarship you've done on the topic where you actually address this concept that AOC should be familiar with since she's such an economics wonk, opportunity cost, the potential impact on poverty for some of the policies, government policies being proposed by people like her.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that are really hard about global warming is to recognize that global warming will harm the poorest, both in the rich world and in the poor world, the most. That's not predominantly because it's global warming, but that's because every bad thing harms really poor people the most because they don't have any ability to be resilient. And so the real issue is if you start saying, no, you can't have coal-fired power, you can't actually work your way out of poverty, which is what a lot of these policies end up meaning in third world countries, you leave these people in poverty. Now, you also cut temperatures a little bit, but of course they're going to be much worse hit by the end of the century. Instead of focusing on making these people rich, instead of taking the worst hit people in the world out of poverty and making sure that they can actually have meaningful lives, which both means that they would be less vulnerable to climate, but of course also less vulnerable to everything else. They could give their kids education and get them to not die from easily curable infectious diseases and all these other things that not being poor can actually help you with. So it's crucial to recognize you're not going to solve global warming by telling Indians and Chinese, I'm sorry, you can't be rich, you can't use fossil fuel energy. What you have to do is to understand they want to be rich, they have a moral right to become rich. And what you should make sure is that they can then get the innovations we were just talking about, get cheap green energy so that they can both be rich and not emit CO2 in the long run.
He is Bjorn Lomborg. He's the director of the Copenhagen Consensus Center. He's also the author of Cool It and Skeptical Environments. Bjorn, thanks again for joining us. Always appreciate it.
Hey, great to talk to you.
Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll be introduced to our 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where we'll share how to get started making money flipping houses and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000 right now, because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
Hey, like it or not, it's cold and flu season in Chicago. Just look around. People are coughing, sneezing, and wheezing. And if you want to avoid getting sick, then you know what you need to do. Give your immune system a boost. And a great way to do that is with fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. Look, we're all busy, and it's hard to get enough fruits and veggies in our diet. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies in a capsule. There's no preservatives, and that helps boost your immune system all winter long. I know you've heard the testimonials on this air, and I could tell you they are real. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He showed me the emails. He played a few voicemails from real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and, more importantly, stay healthy. That should be you. Do not wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And you can even get 35% off when you order by using promo code Chicago. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago for 35% off your first set of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature.
The following is a paid political announcement.
A lot of deals have been the Chicago way of doing business. I've never been tied to Chicago political machine. As your next mayor, I propose a citizen review board made up of citizens, law enforcement, city officials that will review the inner workings of City Hall on a quarterly basis. This open-door policy will clean up the old corrupt ways and turn City Hall into the People's Hall.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Bernie Sanders is coming to Chicago.
Oh, he's coming to your backyard next Sunday, fun day. He's going to make his official announcement that he's running for president here, even though he's already did. But they're coming. They're going to ride the Ferris wheel, and then they're going to take the Sea Dog, and then they're going to go to the ballroom.
Yeah, go to Bubba Gump's for lunch.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Streeterville, as you know, dangerous neighborhood. Hollywood actors are getting fake beaten up there all the time. So I just hope Bernie Sanders brings protection. Sanders was on CNN over the weekend and talking about the civil war going on in Venezuela. Not CNN. This was with Jorge Ramos. Same difference. Bernie Sanders couldn't bring himself.
I know, this is so sad.
Couldn't bring himself to call for his fellow traveler, socialist Nicolas Maduro's resignation. He had this to say.
Before you go, I want to ask you about Venezuela. Do you consider Juan Guaidó the legitimate president of Venezuela?
No, I think what has to happen right now, I think there are serious questions about the recent election. There are many people who feel it was a fraudulent election. And I think the United States has got to work with the international community to make sure that there is a free and fair election in Venezuela.
So is Nicolás Maduro a dictator, Senator, for you? And should he go?
I think clearly he has been very, very abusive. That is a decision of the Venezuelan people. So I think, Jorge, there's got to be a free and fair election.
Oh, sure, free and fair elections. This is the cants you hear from politicians.
He should have
Socialists
come
like
out
Bernie.
and denounced him right away.
It's tough to separate yourself from your comrades. By the way, remember, Bernie Sanders almost won the Democrat primary in this state against Hillary 4 years ago. So there's a lot of Bernie heads.
Well, you're going to have millions of them next Sunday at Navy Pier.
I love it. God, that'd be great for him to be the nominee in 2020.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
He's here in studio. We've got a special send-off for Tiny Dancer, courtesy of our friend, musical parody impresario, Strange Tim O'Donnell at 7:37, so you want to stay tuned for that.
But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunrise, sunshine, but really chilly. 6 degrees above, wind chill of 11 below, and Chicago coming off a damaging day of high-speed winds that moved through the region yesterday. Peak gusts of over 65 miles an hour. President Trump holding his second summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un this week. The two leaders meet in Hanoi, Vietnam. NBC's Bill Neely is in Vietnam.
South Korea's President Moon suggesting today it's possible they'll declare an end to the Korean War, which technically is still going on. But that alone won't satisfy the summit skeptics.
Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State of the United States, says President Trump may not accomplish some key goals during this week's summit.
Our objectives are clear. Our mission is clear. President Trump's also said this is going to take time. There may have to be another summit. We may not get everything done this week.
The president and Kim are set to meet on Wednesday and Thursday. The Venezuelan government can expect more consequences from the United States after a week of unrest. Secretary of State Pompeo saying there are more sanctions to be had. Representative Adam Kinzinger says his firsthand experience at the U.S.-Mexico border leads him to believe an emergency declaration there is necessary.
If this was just an issue of immigration, it wouldn't constitute a national emergency. But what I saw was really disturbing.
The 16th District Illinois Republican on CBS's Face the Nation says that he was deployed to Arizona with his Air National Guard unit and saw drugs and human trafficking. Candidates running for mayor of Chicago are pushing for votes ahead of tomorrow's election. All 14 spread far and wide across the city yesterday, courting voters. R. Kelly is still in the Cook County Jail after being indicted on 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse against 4 victims. Lawyer Michael Avenatti suggesting that R. Kelly's attorney and his managers are complicit in keeping the singer's sex crimes from surfacing.
Managers, agents, attorneys, and others continue to get their payday while they look the other way, while this predator molested and sexually abused underage girls.
Avenatti speaking to reporters and slamming Kelly attorney Steve Greenbook. 6 are hurt following a multi-vehicle crash being investigated in Chicago's Loop overnight. Longtime pizzeria in South Chicago is closed after it was severely damaged in a fire. Capri's Pizza was nearly destroyed near 88th and Commercial. Blackhawks fell to the Stars 4-3. Bulls hosting the Bucks later on tonight. The news a service of Accountemps. Finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Accountemps can help with Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors. You can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Keene Jr. of the Mail House, Inc., a family-owned and operated digital print mail house with a specialty in political advertising and a customer of Signature Bank. We knew that getting a loan to buy our business wouldn't be easy, so we turned to one of our trusted friends for a referral. She told us about the outstanding level of customer service her business received at Signature Bank since becoming one of their first customers in 2006. Today, we couldn't be happier. Not only did Signature help us finance the purchase of the mail house, but they supported our growth as we modernized our operations in mailing as well as from traditional to digital printing. If you're looking for a great bank to grow your business, take a look at Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text TRY to 350-350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text TRY to 350-350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's TRY to 350-350.
7:37 is our time, and let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
South side 63rd Street is closed. Stony Island, Cornell after a carjacking crash. Edens runs 24 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 26. Kennedy, 55 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 25 from Montrose, 22 in the Express. The Eisenhower's 55 minutes, 390 to downtown, 40 from Manheim. Stevenson, 53 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 27 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 24 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishopport, 33. Southbound Lakeshore Drive is heavy Irving Park to North Avenue. Northbound Tri-State bottled up. Stevenson to 47th from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Southbound I-65 is heavy after a crash near 205th Avenue. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunshine gives way to afternoon clouds, brisk and bitterly cold, high of 19. 6 above at O'Hare with a wind chill of minus 13. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
California is going to pull the plug on its billion-dollar bullet train.
On AM 560.
The latest estimate for completion was set for 2033, and yet that would still have been completed before the Byrne interchange.
The Answer.
Dan and Amy back by popular demand. We have a special guest in studio, and we've got a mayor's election tomorrow, and we're going to have a new mayor come April. And so a proper send-off for Tiny Dancer for all that he has given the city, these past almost 8 years. To do that, I give you once again the Tim O'Donnell, or as we call him here, Strange Tim O'Donnell.
Strange Tim O'Donnell. Okay.
Tim O'Donnell.
Welcome back.
Take it away.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to dedicate this for the all the public, all the workers in Illinois who may not have insurance or pensions, but yet pay for them.
Private sector workers in Illinois.
Yes.
All right. Wonderful dedication.
This one goes for you guys. A 4-foot mayor, he robs a taxpayer. He's just a patsy for Madigan. Chicago corruption goes on without disruption as long as the Democrats rule the land. A ballerina, here's your subpoena. I hear Blago needs a friend. 'Cause nothing changes, it just rearranges while Tiny Head Dancer is in command. A public union freeze and nothing's free. Handing pensions out should be wrong. And looking back, I will just laugh. When the pensions are worth nothing at all. Blame the Ponzi schemers, the true deceivers. Your heads are buried in the sand. Another election, just small misdirection. Which Tiny Head Dancer is in command? Daily Mendoza, a tax wrinkle too. Makes no difference, all you're totally screwed. You voted blue. Ah, who knew? All you need to do is change it to 2. Hold me hostage, time to dance on. And you can count the taillights on the highway. A tax and spend in the land of Lincoln. When no good crisis goes to waste. Oh, I'll pray if you stay. Now Jeannie eyes gave and done tried. I guess the voters will never learn. And not even wrong, they're sticking around to watch this city burn. But before you leave us, here's your subpoenas. You and Bert can share a pen. Oh man. Another election around a rejection. Big Tiny Head Dancer is in command. And J.B. Pritzker's here, just lying like the other billionaire. You voted blue, so you knew. All you need to do is get a bigger tutu. Well, hold me hostage, time to dance on. You can count the taillights on the highway. A tax and spend in the land of Lincoln. Where no good crisis goes to waste. Oh, I'll pray if you stay. Thank you.
That's awesome. I think that's going number 1 on the charts.
I think so, too.
This is good stuff. And forget, I was going to say weddings and bar mitzvahs. You should, with the Billy Joel and now the Elton John, you should be playing Wrigley Field.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. How long did it take you to come up with the lyrics to the song?
This one, it took a while, and it kept on changing.
Why is that?
Well, Bert got nailed, so I had to add him into it. So it took a while. I kind of have a process. I kind of put them up in a cloud in my head, and I kind of pull things out, and so.
And you're like Paul Potts, like you're like a cell phone salesman by day and like an opera singer by night, right?
Absolutely.
What do you do? What do you do for work?
I am a project manager for Build Out Pros here in Rolling Meadows. So we do tenant build outs for commercial.
Do you sing on the job site?
I do. Actually.
There you go.
What do your coworkers think of your singing?
I sing right before inspectors come and after they leave. So.
And not during.
I try not to during.
This is and so also like the decision to do these parody songs. You put your musical talent to work in this way. What prompted it? Just like creative outlet for your frustration, maybe.
Yes, right. I mean, we've made the decision we're going to move because it's crazy here. But it just came to me one day. I was talking to my buddies and I was just like, "Hey, you moving out? I'm just going to do a Billy Joel one, And then you kept on saying Tiny Dancer. I said, okay, I'll do a Tiny Dancer one. And I got a new idea for another one as well. So
what's that?
If I can't, I'll give you guys a little
teaser.
I think it's a radio teaser.
Preview,
right?
Yeah. Forthcoming album from Tim O'Donnell.
Right.
Oh, sure. More
now I
Elton.
want you to
Yeah.
Of course, you guys recognize that as.
Yes.
I guess that's why we call it the blues, but I think we're going to do. And I guess that's why Trump calls it fake news.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's
You're
good.
gonna have a lot of verses. For that.
I was going to say I'm going to have plenty of.
If you get the curly hair and you start doing some videos, you could have the Weird Al career maybe.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I will say he's famous for that. He would mock the song though. I'm actually trying to play the song.
Oh no,
good.
right? Yeah,
right. He'd make fun of the song itself. I'm trying not to do that. I pay homage to these guys that write the music.
We got to get some YouTube videos to accompany this though too to really blow you up a little bit.
Yeah.
The lyrics are great and you're a good musician. You have a great voice. I mean, we don't get good singing in here routinely because it's usually me and Amy.
I try.
We could do a duet. I was going to say you should ask
shallow.
You should ask the audience if they have any ideas. And I'm always listening. So even if somebody comes up in the blue and
all right,
312-642-5600. It's our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA. Then a quick comment about what the next song should be.
Or email us, text us, whatever. Call us, as you said. Tweet at us. And also, and just remember, I mean, I get a cut of the royalties.
that's
I'm like
right.
the Simon Cowell here. Yeah, I discovered Tim.
10%? How much?
So, I think we're going to have a great career together. I just need a label. That's all I need. And then you're gold and I'll be gold by extension. This is great. Thanks so much for doing this, Tim. And another outstanding performance. And if you didn't hear Tim, there you go, audience. Yeah,
that's not canned or anything.
That's a live audience.
That is a
He's
live
live in studio. That's a live audience. We've got a live audience here today. It's like Kelly and Strahan? Seacrest?
Seacrest.
Yeah. So if you didn't catch Tim, the first time he was in studio, he had another, the previous parody song they mentioned, Billy Joel's Moving Out, which is appropriate for property taxes and a discussion of the Chicago mayor's race. Will take you out with Moving Out.
Here in Illinois, you can never keep up with the
start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Winners don't wait for chances. They take them, seizing opportunities that come their way, having the courage necessary to make the game-winning play when it's all on the line. It's what sets us apart from the rest. Your home for Husky basketball is right here on the Northern Illinois Husky Sports Network.
It's the Huskies taking on the Western Michigan Broncos this Tuesday night at 7. NIU basketball is on AM 560. The Answer.
When you hear the word divorce, a lot of thoughts go through your head. The emotional exhaustion, confusion, the extra demands, loneliness. It's not a fun subject to talk about. So many people have or are currently going through a divorce. You may be one of them, or you know someone who is. Maybe a family member or friend. Now there's some great assistance to get you through the tough times. A BFF's Guide to Divorce can help you or someone you know walk through the divorce process and relieve much of the stress. It explains some of the variables and decisions of a divorce, along with the overall process and terminology. But it also explains how a best friend forever, a BFF, can walk alongside their friend during this challenging time, providing emotional and tactical support. Get a BFF's Guide to Divorce now, for yourself or a friend. It's available from Amazon. To order, go to Amazon.com and search the keywords BFF and divorce under books.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had seen my kidney doctor because I only have one kidney that works, and the other one doesn't work at all. And I was pretty close to going on dialysis if it didn't improve. This last visit to my kidney doctor, my kidney it's operating at 21% now. So that's the highest that it's been in the last 8 years. This is really working well for me, and I am so grateful that I found you guys.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 20% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
So we got John from Palatine called in and said, do a parody song on the Green New Deal. That's a good topic area. And also text multiple cars on 290 with lighters out of sunroofs. Yeah, I wanted us to have a lighter when you were singing that. That was fantastic. Tim O'Donnell and his Tiny Dancer tribute. Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs. Get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We are ready for Fioretti.
I'm former Alderman Bob Fioretti asking for your vote. As Alderman, I work for you, not the insiders. I'll do the same as mayor. If you're tired of the corruption as I am, the violent crime, the insider deals, then you're ready for Fioretti. I'll fight for what I've always fought for, creating jobs, no property tax increase, term limits, more police officers, and much more. Punch 35 for Bob Fioretti for mayor. Thank you.
We are ready for Fioretti.
Paid for by friends at Bob Fioretti.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Improving your home? Why not make it easy? Don't miss the free Home and Garden Show this weekend only at the Tinley Park Convention Center. Find the ultimate in savings and convenience with thousands of the latest home products and services for the freshest ideas to remodel, repair, and beautify your home, inside and out. Get trusted advice on your upcoming projects as you speak with local and national experts who will help you with all of your home improvement needs. And be sure to attend the free expert seminars and live cooking shows all weekend. See quality indoor and outdoor furniture, amazing deals on mattresses and adjustable beds, the latest appliances by Grand, and so much more. Plus, don't miss the huge plant sale by Ted's Greenhouse. And test drive the new Transit Connect by Ford right from the show. From interiors to exteriors, from decor to outdoor, you'll find it all at the huge Home and Garden Show this weekend at the Tinley Park Convention Center on Harlem Avenue north of I-80 with free admission and parking. For details, visit TinleyParkShow.com. That's TinleyParkShow.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so Sir Charles weighed in on Jussie Smollett over the weekend after the arrest and processing. Sir Charles, some suggestions for both Jussie and America when committing crimes.
I'm with you. Yeah. You won this fight. I'm with you.
That's not it.
America, let me just tell you something. What's that? Do not commit crimes with checks. Come on, man. You cannot, if you're going to break the law, do not write a check.
They could not stop. There's a TNT's halftime, and they could not get it together. They could not stop laughing. And they're trying to rein Charles Barkley in, but he was uncontrollable.
Oh, the best was Kenny Smith. You can hear Kenny Smith and Shaq laughing in the background. And Barkley continued.
Jussie, you wasted all that damn time and money. You know what you should have did? What's that? Just went up in Liam Neeson's neighborhood. You could have solved all your problems.
Oh, that's great. That's funny stuff. Charles is a funny man.
Yes, but then the truth came out.
Oh, he
Dan.
also had the fake check, right?
He had the fake check.
He had the fake check on TNT with the pay to the order of muggers and the memo, mugging materials.
Well, I mean, it was the longest purchase in the history of purchases when Abel and Ola, the two Nigerian brothers.
Cain and Abel,
went to that beauty supply store on North Broadway there and bought the red mask, the black, they call it a robbery mask too. So, and at one point in time, I looked at it, you can see them, they're kind of looking up at the camera like, oh, well, we might be recorded. All right, let's continue with the purchase. He got the $100 allegedly to purchase that. But if you dig a little deeper, and if you've seen the return check, which I've seen the return check, the check that they wrote, in the memo, it says 5 weeks nutrition workout program. And then they wrote in Don't Go. And Don't Go is the name of a song that he's going to shoot a music video for that features him shirtless. So he needed to buff up.
Yeah.
But if they present that evidence to the jury, creates a little doubt.
Sure, and a lot of laughter.
And a lot of, well, I know that this is staged, okay, but I'm just saying in their defense.
Yeah.
And then there's
They're
various
cute,
text
those
messages
two.
to say, you've been traveling today, make sure you get at least 45 minutes of cardio in. That text was on January 28th, the day before the attack. And January 20th, another text message outlined a menu for the day, including chicken thighs, Starkist, tuna, eggs, and Smucker's peanut butter.
It's fascinating. Where's the text message about how, show up at 2 a.m. so I can beat you up in Streeterville?
They don't have that.
Yeah. Working on that?
Yeah, they're working on
all right. Yeah, okay.
But there have been some great parodies. The Daily Show did the best one. We don't have time now. But if I tweeted it out, I don't know if you tweeted it out. It is fantastic.
It's safe to come out now for the Daily Show, so they do the parody. It's pretty good, though.
Hysterical.
Yeah. Now, you think this is going to trial?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Good luck. If it goes to trial, then he should get the max. He should get the full 3 years if he takes it to trial. Oh, if I was Jussie Smollett's attorneys, Chicago police this morning saying overwhelming evidence that it was a hoax. So
Oh, I still believe it's a hoax. yes,
Obviously, right. So, hey, go ahead. Take your shot with a jury, Jesse. Take your shot with a bench trial. Go ahead.
And he has been written off the last 2 episodes of the show, by the way. And half of the actors, Dan, are supporting him, and the other half want him to just go away.
Terrence Howard's
Yeah, because he came back. Yeah, he came back to the studio after he was released on Bond Thursday, telling people, I didn't do it. He's still standing by his story. That's how mentally ill he is. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll preview the Mueller report release with Andy McCarthy at 8:08.
But here's Mike Scott.
Strong winds slammed Chicago. WIND Chicago News Time. It's 8 o'clock.
North Korea could rapidly become an economic powerhouse. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump tweeted that if there's complete denuclearization. This as he gets ready to travel today to Vietnam, where he'll meet this week for a second time with Kim Jong-un.
We've given up nothing. The sanctions are on, everything's on, but we have a special feeling.
Senate Democrats put out a statement wanting the president's meeting with Kim to demonstrate tangible, verifiable nuclear progress. The president is also talking up progress trying to end the trade dispute with China. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
President Trump on Twitter saying he would delay an increase in tariffs on Chinese exports to the U.S. that were originally scheduled to take effect this Friday. Also announcing that he's planning a summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping at Mar-a-Lago to finalize a trade agreement.
We put ourselves into a position of strength for the first time in about 35 years, or probably a lot more than that.
The president says substantial progress has been made in talks with China, pointing to a number of issues, including intellectual property protection, technology transfer, agriculture, and currency manipulation. Dave?
John, the day before House Democrats vote on their resolution to block President Trump's declaration of an emergency at the border, hoping to stop him from reallocating money for more wall. He tweeted he hopes Senate Republicans don't get led down the path of weak and ineffective border security. If the Senate passes it too, the president would veto the resolution. At the Academy Awards on ABC.
The Oscar goes to Greenbook.
It won Best Picture, and Spike Lee, who doesn't like the movie, was visibly upset. He also, accepting Best Adapted Screenplay for Black Klansman, brought up the 2020 election.
Let's all mobilize. Let's all be on the right side of history.
Urging people to choose love over hate, the president tweeted it was a racist hit against him. Other Oscar winners, Rami Malek got Best Actor for Bohemian Rhapsody. Olivia Colman, Best Actress for The Favorite. Roma got top foreign film and Best Director. This is Fox News.
Sunshine 6 above, a wind chill minus 13 at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago area coming off a damaging day of high-speed winds. Officially, the National Weather Service says 64 miles an hour in Sugar Grove, a wind gust of 59 at Midway, 61 at O'Hare. Candidates for mayor of Chicago out pushing for votes before tomorrow's election. All 14 spread across the city yesterday. Polls open at 6 a.m. tomorrow. 6 are hurt following a multi-vehicle crash in Chicago's Loop. The driver lost control of their brakes before hitting a parked vehicle in a bus shelter in the 500 block of South State Street. At least 2 are dead, the result of a crash between a Chicago-bound Amtrak train, the Wolverine, and a car in Oshtemo Township near Kalamazoo, Michigan. The train was headed in from Pontiac last night around 10 p.m. to Chicago. No indication that anyone on the train was hurt. A longtime pizzeria is closed in South Chicago, severely damaged in a fire. Capri's Pizza near 88th and Commercial was nearly destroyed, and flames spread to 2 other buildings. One of the nation's top bond houses is once again not impressed with Illinois' plan to deal with its budget deficit and unpaid bills. S&P saying Friday it considers Governor J.B. Pritzker's budget to be dubious. Blackhawks rally from 3-0 down to tie the game in the third, but fell short in a 4-3 home loss to the Dallas Stars. Bulls will host the Bucks later on tonight. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here is Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, futures are pointing to market gains today after President Trump delayed increased tariffs on imports from China. The president is reporting substantial progress in trade talks over the weekend. General Electric is selling GE Life Sciences, its biopharma business, to Danaher for $21.4 billion. GE has been selling off parts of its business. It's considerably smaller now than it was before the financial crisis. Also, Barrick Gold is proposing a merger with Newmont Mining. It's an all-stock deal. Barrick is based in Colorado. Newmont is a Canadian company. And Canada-based cannabis company CanTrust Holdings will begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange today under the symbol CTST. The company's shares will also continue trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
It's 8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity says this is not the same Democratic Party.
This is now a radical extreme party that wants to nationalize pretty much every aspect of our economy. This party is so out of touch. This is a new, radical, extreme, Democratic Socialist Party.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll be introduced to our 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to get started making money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where we'll share how to get started making money flipping houses and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000 right now, because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
You know what's fun? Refunds! And using my tax refund to save big at Family Dollar, where you can save $5, $10, and $20 with Family Dollar Smart Coupons. This week, 12-pack Pepsi products, buy 3 for $10. Angel Soft Bath Tissue or Sparkle Paper Towels, $4.50. And Tide Liquid or Pods, $2.95 with your Family Dollar Smart Coupons. Sign up today. Download our app or visit FamilyDollar.com, where Family Dollar is refund.
36 days. That's how long it takes the average company to find their next hire. Glassdoor can help you quickly find the right job candidate in half the resumes. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. And Glassdoor hires are committed. They're 30% more likely to stay with your business longer. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
It's 8:07 and a check on your morning commute in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
On Chicago's South Side, streets are blocked around 69th and Cornell after a carjacking and crash. Metro trains are stopped on the Union Pacific North line near Winnetka due to switch problems. Edens runs 22 minutes late. Cook to Montrose outbound 32. Kennedy, 51 minutes O'Hare to downtown, but heavier in the express, outbound 44 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower's an hour, 390 to downtown, outbound 51 minutes. Stevenson, 57 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays. Archer to 31st. Now from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Reagan Tollway from 31 to Gackney. Northbound Veterans Memorial out into the Reagan Tollway at Army Trail to 290. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. And your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Sun giving way to some clouds today, brisk and very cold, the high 19. Clouds and frigid tonight, flurries in the low of 10. Flurries tomorrow morning, a bit of snow by the afternoon, accumulating a coating to an inch, the high tomorrow 26. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 6 above, a wind chill of minus 12. Next news coming up at 8:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k specialist. Heard Saturday mornings at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So we're nearing, it seems, the completion of the Mueller investigation and the submission of his report to the Department of Justice for the Attorney General then to, at minimum, summarize for public consumption. But, of course, Adam Schiff, he's the new chairman of the House Intel Committee. He's a Democrat who represents Area 51, sort of an amateur conspiracy theorist as a side hustle in addition to being a member of Congress.
Yeah, and he was on this week on Sunday.
Yeah, he had this to say about the prospect of the full report not being released to the public, what he would do if that was the decision Attorney General Barr made.
Well, we will obviously subpoena the report. We will bring Bob Mueller in to testify before Congress. We will take it to court if necessary. And in the end, I think the department understands they're going to have to make this public. I think Barr will ultimately understand that as well.
And Jonathan Turley, who spoke on behalf of William Barr at his confirmation hearing, was on with Michael Smerconish on CNN over the weekend. He had this to say about his friend, Bill Barr, and what he thinks Barr will do with respect to the release of the report.
You can take it to the bank what he said. He's going to try to disclose as much as possible. Does that mean he's going to do a Comey? No. You know, he is a really straight shooting prosecutor. He's friends with Mueller, you know, and they are cut from the same bolt in that sense. So I think that he's going to try to get as much out as possible. But under the law, it says that he supplies a summary as to what was stated. Now, Michael, as you know, that's not going to satisfy anyone, no matter how fulsome that summary may be. The Democrats in the House may then try to subpoena the whole report and or bring in Mueller.
Which is exactly what Schiff said he was willing to do. Now, Turley, law professor at George Washington University, also gave his own summary of what he thinks the report will contain.
But now comes word that Mueller is finishing up. So, doesn't the absence of additional indictments against Stone suggest, as the president would say, no collusion?
Well, it does. I mean, you have to, you know, call them as you see them. There is no evidence thus far of collusion between the Trump campaign or President Trump and the Russians in hacking these computer systems. And moreover, it's really quite unlikely, right? If you were a KGB spy master, would you really collude with Donald Trump and put yourself one tweet away from destruction on perhaps the most secret operation in its recent history? The answer is no. They wouldn't do that. Would you hold a hyper-sensitive meeting at Trump Tower with half the media downstairs and not actually produce the evidence promised and instead talk about adoptions? No. The most obvious explanation is probably the right one, that there was not collusion in the hacking of the system. Now, what appears to be the case is that Stone wanted to get access to this information. That's not illegal. Journalists, political operatives, even academics all try to get their hands on material like this, whether it's whistleblowing or whether it came from one source or another. There's nothing illegal in that. And so I think that so far we're one collusion short of making that case.
For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined again by Andy McCarthy, former Chief Assistant U.S. Attorney in Manhattan, and a contributing editor at National Review, nationalreview.com. Andy, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Turley went on to say with Smerconish that Mueller has shown more collusion between Manafort and Ukraine than anything resembling collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. Is that your assessment at this juncture as well?
Yeah, it is, but I think, Dan, that the whole premise of this is wildly distorted. I think basically what they've done is the more I look into this, they have taken what was a thriving business of political consultancy and lobbying that eminences from both parties were involved in during the 25-year utopian Washington euphoria that Russia was just a normal country, a great place for Americans to do business, a great place to ally with when our political interests lined up. And then at around 3 o'clock in the morning or so on November 9th, 2016, when Hillary Clinton lost the election and the Democrats needed a reason to explain it, the music stopped, and Russia was suddenly the Cold War villain, and anyone who was related to Trump who did business with it was now a clandestine agent of the Kremlin rather than a grubby political lobbyist. And that's what they've crafted this entire collusion narrative out of.
And you've said from the beginning that this was never about indicting the president. This is about impeachment. So with respect to what could possibly be included in the Mueller report based on what we know that's publicly available, do you see anything that could provide the basis for a rational argument for impeachment, or is it going to be the posture that they don't have what they want from Mueller, so they'll get into process and argue for the next several months, getting into the throes of the 2020 cycle about complete disclosure from Trump's attorney general?
Yeah, nothing that would be legitimately high crimes and misdemeanors in the nature of impeachable offenses. That won't stop the Democrats from doing it, because I think this has been political from the beginning. It's striking, as I've been predicting for a long time, the difference between how things go when the media Democrat complex is the breeze at your back rather than the wind at your face. We had 2 years of Republicans controlling 3 committees in the House, demanding disclosure from the Justice Department of all kinds of information derived from FISA surveillance warrants against Trump campaign advisors and the like. The media basically laughed that whole thing off. The Democrats said it was a clown show that was designed to distract from the more important Mueller investigation, and nobody seemed to care, including President Trump, frankly, when the Justice Department and the FBI simply ignored Congress. So now the shoe is on the other foot. They're going to want the Mueller report, even though, number one, the special counsel regulations say that it's supposed to be a confidential report from the special counsel to the attorney general. Number two, if a person is not charged by the Justice Department, it's against Justice Department policy to broadcast the evidence about that person. And three, Mueller's investigation overarchingly is a counterintelligence investigation, which is supposed to be classified, which means it's never supposed to see the light of day. But now, we're going to get all kinds of demands that everything be disclosed, and the media will be right behind it.
I just want to put an exclamation point on what you just said about against Department of Justice policy to opine, discuss somebody who is not being prosecuted. And that's Barr certainly made reference to that being done in the past by Jim Comey with respect to Hillary Clinton during his confirmation hearing, suggesting that he is going to follow Department of Justice protocol, whereas other senior officials previously have not.
Yeah, well, look, Rod Rosenstein Rosenstein being the Deputy Attorney General, at least for the moment, he ran the Mueller investigation for the better part of 2 years, from the time he appointed Mueller in May 17th of 2017. And of course, that appointment was 9 days after Rosenstein had authored a memorandum justifying the firing of FBI Director James Comey because he spoke publicly about the evidence against Hillary Clinton, an uncharged person. So it would be ironic if the same Justice Department that fired an FBI director or called for the firing of an FBI director over that offense would now suddenly decide that that's no big deal and we can now turn over all the files against somebody who's not charged criminally.
And Rod Rosenstein, he's leaving, March 14th? So this should come out, don't you think, before he leaves?
It's hard to say. I don't know that I've ever thought that Mueller is acting on anybody's clock except his own. Now, I've heard some credible suggestions that he's really ready to release the report. I thought that he's got to have been winding down for a long time because a lot of these investigations are being transferred to other components of the Justice Department. He's staffing down. He's allowing cooperating witnesses or ostensibly people who would be in that position to get sentenced, which you usually don't do as a prosecutor. You wait until they testify in whatever big proceeding you're building to, if you're building to something big. So there have been a lot of signs for a long time that we're a lot closer to the end than the beginning. And there's been some credible reporting that he was ready to push this report out and has only been delayed because the president's going to be in Asia for the better part of a week. So maybe they'll wait till next week. But I think the end is near. I think it's coming.
On the topic of indicia of collusion, how about this story, including that's been highlighted by John Solomon over at The Hill, who's done some good reporting in this topic area, that Adam Schiff, the chairman of the House Intel Committee, met with Fusion GPS founder Glenn Simpson at the Aspen Security Conference last July. Well, since we're supposed to construe these people running into each other in the most suspicious way possible, the way that Jeff Sessions running into the Russian ambassador to the U.S. at a Heritage Foundation function at the convention is to be construed in the light least favorable to Jeff Sessions. What about this meeting between Schiff and GPS founder Glenn Simpson? Does that call into question Adam Schiff's impartiality, a pursuit of the truth as House Intel Committee chairman?
Yeah, well, I never expect any of these political committees to be on a search for the truth. They're on the search for political advantage for the most part. But I've never accused and wouldn't accuse Schiff of committing espionage because he's playing politics. And that's been my objection, Dan, all along to the word collusion. You know, if you're going to tell me that we're investigating conspiracy to commit cyber espionage with the Kremlin, then if you've got evidence of that, I think that's a very serious matter. Otherwise, collusion, as we've discussed a number of times, is just concerted activity. The three of us are colluding by having this conversation.
Uh-oh.
And it doesn't mean that we're violating any law. And if we're going to talk about, just connections and people working with other people in the context of campaigns, there's an awful lot of evidence that the Clinton campaign and people who were attached to it worked with elements of the Ukrainian government to undermine the Trump campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what people do in these situations, and the United States government is as guilty of it as any other government, including trying to influence the outcome of politics in Russia. So, I have no problem condemning any of this stuff because I don't like the idea of inviting of people on our side inviting foreign governments to meddle in our elections. My objection is that the rules of the game seem to have changed the day after Trump was elected president, and what everybody kind of acknowledged as grubby lobbying and scummy politics before the 2016 presidential election is suddenly now supposed to be seen as if people are clandestine operatives of the Kremlin. That's what I think is ridiculous.
He is Andy McCarthy, former chief assistant U.S. attorney in Manhattan, contributing editor at National Review. His latest piece you want to check out at nationalreview.com. If working with Moscow is collusion, it's a bipartisan offense. Andy, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
You too.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Chicago is a big city, 234 square miles. We have 50 aldermen to watch over our neighborhoods, but only one police superintendent. As mayor, I will add 3 more superintendents and form separate districts for them to be responsible for and bringing top management to the police force closer to our citizens.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Oh, yeah. I've started taking it. I started taking Balance on Maitre Dan. Yes, I did. Did you? Because Cold and flu season is upon us, and the way to stay healthy is to boost your immune system. And a great way to do that is with the fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature. We're all busy. We do not get enough fruits and veggies in our diet. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. 10 servings of 31 fruits and veggies in a capsule to boost your immune system all winter long. You've heard the testimonials, and I could tell you this. They are 100% real. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, founder and creator of Balance of Nature. He showed me the emails, played a few voicemails for me from real people who use Balance of Nature to get healthier and stay healthy, and that should be you. Do not wait another day. Try it now before you get sick. And right now, when you order your first sets of fruits and veggies from Balance of Nature, you can get 35% off your order by using promo code Chicago. Call now 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751 or online at balanceofnature.com.
The quivers, the shivers, goosebumps. That's what our customers say before 1 hour heating and air conditioning repairs their furnace. Call us. We'll fix it right, stand by our work, and give you our straightforward pricing, which means no hourly charges. How's that for goosebumps? Right now, get big savings on any heating repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
You've heard me talk about Northridge Prep for a year. I have friends with children at the school, and they rave about it. Let me tell you a few things they don't do at Northridge. They don't put an iPad in every boy's hand and somehow expect the boys to focus. The Northridge boys turn off their phones and learn with paper and pen. They don't expect boys to sit still all day in the classroom. They have gym every day and allow the boys to play tag and throw snowballs. They don't teach their boys that being masculine is bad. Instead, they teach what it means to be a gentleman and expect their students to act like one. The teachers expect a lot from the young men. The coaches push them, and the boys love Northridge. If you have a son entering middle or high school, you should learn more about Northridge. Their next open house is Sunday, April 7th. Again, Sunday, April 7th, next open house. I encourage you to register online at northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Did you miss the open enrollment this year? I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time that eliminates the mandatory maternity coverage. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other carriers. If you're over 50 and are covered by the Affordable Care Act, you're paying for maternity coverage every month whether you want it or not. In Chicago, the least expensive PPO health insurance plan under the ACA will cost $572 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $7,900 before your bills are paid at 100%. I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity coverage and lower your monthly premium to $278 per month with a total out-of-pocket cost of $2,500 before your bills are paid at 100%. That's a savings of $294 a month and over $5,000 with my lower deductible. For a free quote and to see if you qualify, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
AM 560, The Answer.
So you watched the Oscars last night, right?
All right, I apologize for our audience for this
Why?
indulgence, but if I don't, Amy's going to explode.
It was the moment of a lifetime, a moment of the 21st century when Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper sat next to each other on the piano bench and sang. He slowly sits down.
Yeah.
Share a mic soon. Now they're getting really close. Sing, Bradley.
In the shower. I can learn. He can learn to sing. I can learn to sing. All right.
No, they make out.
They don't make out.
No, but we thought they were. Right?
Yeah.
So romantic.
I think it would have been, first of all, best movie duet, not those two.
Oh, yes.
Not even close.
Oh, come on.
Best movie duet?
Which one's that?
Bill Medley, Jennifer Warren, Time of My Life, Dirty Dancing. What do you think?
No, I don't think so.
What if? I mean, could you imagine if like they had done that, and or me and you had done that, and
Yeah,
then you
they lift it up.
Right. That's a moment. That's theater.
No,
that's
no.
See,
not
we
in-
have we don't have.
Thanks for coming out, but no.
We don't have children of the '80s in studio, so that's the problem.
The song "Shallow" did win Best Original Song.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of Lady Gaga, and she was crying.
That was a nice moment.
She's single now, She broke off with her engagement.
I know. I think she's dating Ariana Grande. Here's the thing. I thought that was a nice moment.
Yeah.
But I thought this was a little off color for the Oscars. The R. Kelly tribute. Did you hear
Oh,
this?
yeah, with Dave Chappelle.
Too soon,
Said your body is a porta potty, and my pee got kicked like a nice karate. I'm gonna pee on you, drip, 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 pee on you.
No bigger Dave Chappelle fan than me, but I thought that was a little, tone deaf to do that. By the way, just on the issue of comedy, we don't have time for it, but great weekend interview with Colin Quinn in the Wall Street Journal, challenging the comedy scolds, the comedy police these days. Really interesting stuff you want to check out.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right, tomorrow is primary election day in Chicago, and we've got another one of the, I think the sort of the finalists, the top 5, if you will. Gary Chico, candidate for mayor, joins us at 8:38.
But first, let's head straight into that newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Sunshine, but things will get very chilly throughout the day as we cloud up and temperatures drop, and we're coming off a damaging day of high-speed winds that moved through the region yesterday, leaving thousands of ComEd customers without power, and a very unique situation for ComEd. They were unable to use their aerial lift trucks because of the high winds to fix the power lines, so the guys had to go out and hang lines just by climbing the poles the old-fashioned way. Sugar Grove, 64-mile-an-hour wind gust. Midway, a 59-mile-an-hour wind gust. Wheeling, a 62-mile-an-hour wind gust. In other stories we're following this half hour, Virginia Democrat Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax comparing his dealings with sexual assault allegations to lynchings. Yesterday, he gave an impromptu speech in the state Senate chambers. Said hundreds were lynched in Virginia without due process and called senators not to allow what he called political lynchings. President Trump holds his second summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un this week. Trump plans to push Kim on the potential economic benefits for North Korea if he agrees to full denuclearization. Candidates running for Chicago mayor trying to clamber for last-second votes ahead of tomorrow's election. All 14 will be out again today after crossing the city yesterday. Polls open tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Chicago police are investigating after a 17-year-old boy was shot and killed on the south side near 77th and Ashland. 6 are without a home following an apartment building fire on the west side. Authorities say the blaze started yesterday inside of a 3-story apartment block in the 1800 block of South St. Avenue. Blackhawks fall to the Dallas Stars 4-3. Bulls host the Bucks later on tonight. And the news is a service of Boost Mobile. With the money you save by switching to Boost Mobile, you'll have more freedom to spend your hard-earned tax return on other stuff. Switch today and get 4 lines each with unlimited gigs for just $100 a month. Plus, get 4 free phones. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says we can learn from the fake beating case.
The damage that this guy caused with this horrible, horrible accusation. If we haven't learned anything, we should learn that the media better stop jumping to conclusions. We need to stop jumping to conclusions. Everybody needs to stop jumping to conclusions. We need a wake-up call.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Amy Jacobson, and I have the pleasure of having Chris Crum, the national host of Power Trading Radio, with me. And he has some really cool workshops on the schedule that you can attend right here in the Chicagoland area. Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm awesome, Amy. Thanks for having me. This is for Online Trading Academy. They're the people that power Trading Radio. And they've got some powerful, comprehensive workshops on the schedule. They're proven, convenient workshops where they teach you the common mistakes that traders and investors make. They show you how they can time the markets with a great degree of accuracy. And you know what they do is they introduce you to a patented rule-based strategy that you can apply to a trading account if you want to replace or supplement your income. Or, you know what, apply it to your long-term investments to grow wealth over time. $500 value, but they have empowered me to give it away to your listeners today absolutely free.
And the phone number to call is 888-984-TRADE. That's 888-984-8723, or go to tradingacademy.com. That's tradingacademy.com.
It is 8:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
In downtown Chicago, Jackson is blocked between Clark and Dearborn. There's a hazmat response at the Dirksen Federal Building. Closures on the south side, 6030 Cornell after a carjacking. Edens Expressway, it's 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 30 to Kennedy. An hour O'Hare to downtown, a little heavier in the express lanes, outbound 36 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown, 42 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 53 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 57 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. Lyon, 35 minutes, 95 to downtown. Bishop Ford, 40 minutes, 80-90 forward merge. Eastbound Reagan Tollway is heavy, 31 to Yackley. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, sunshine will fall away through the morning, giving way to clouds and a brisk and bitterly cold day. We will top out at 19 degrees, but likely stay in the negative digits for a wind chill all day long. Currently 7 above at O'Hare, a wind chill of 8 below. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God.
on AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Election Day tomorrow. Polls open 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll see. I think, like I've said when we spoke to Gary McCarthy, it seems to me the race is sort of separated, not two candidates, but almost half the field, like five candidates. You think probably maybe Preckwinkle is in the pole position, and then just because the nature of this being bunched like this, I just feel like a surprise is going to happen.
Well,
like somebody's going to knock Daley out.
I have a feeling that we're not going to know Wednesday who made the final two.
That's possible.
I have a feeling because they have absentee ballots to count, and I have a feeling that we might not even know till Friday. That's my spidey senses. Okay.
No, I don't know. I'm sort of right now thinking like Chicago needs like a Rob Ford. Chicago style. The Chris Farley reminded me of it, the Chris Farley drop. But like somebody that's just sort of a little bit off-center, wild, actually pursued some decent public policy, even though personally he was sort of a hot mess. May he rest in peace. Yeah. Something to shake up this city out of its doldrums and its death spiral. Now, I don't know if Gary Chico has the madcap personality for that, but why don't we find out? We're pleased to be joined again by Gary Chico, former chairman of the board of Chicago Public Schools, an attorney in the city. Gary, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you and Amy. Always a pleasure.
Thank
How
you.
you doing today?
Good.
Staying warm, I hope.
Yeah, in studio at least. Yeah, they paid the heating bill, so that's
I just came
good.
from the Jefferson Park CTA station where it was 8 degrees.
We
spent about an hour and a half out there greeting voters. It was invigorating.
Yes, I'm
Keep
sure.
you on your toes.
What's not invigorating is the data that continues to come out on Chicago. So let me give you an example because I'd like your comment on property taxation and general economic climate. Realtor.com put out a study at the end of the year where they ranked housing prices top 200 urban markets in the country. Chicago ranked 200 of 200 behind places like Cleveland. And that obviously is a function of the highest property taxes in the nation, in the state, and it's also a function of a poor outlook for the fiscal stability of the city that's driving people from the city. So how do you address that? I mean, don't you find it remarkable, Chicago, as great a city is, 200 out of 200 in Realtor.com's projections for housing prices?
Well, it's depressing, but the optimistic part is we can do something about it. We don't have to accept this. Property taxes don't have to just keep going up and up and up. And the fiscal future for our city can be brighter. I mean, for example, you can properly assess the downtown office buildings and give local neighborhoods a relief from property taxes. You can also start to take an approach to building the finances of this city that doesn't look to the pocket of the taxpayer right away. I mean, I've said, look at casinos, look at medical marijuana, things of that nature. I even proposed a Western entertainment district just outside of O'Hare Airport, which is a suburban area, which would generate revenue without taxing our citizens. You have to take this approach, and you got to get out of this lazy way of governing where you just look at these taxpayers as ATM machines. That's why you're ranked number 200.
What do you think about Gary McCarthy's idea to start annexing inner ring suburbs around Chicago?
Well, I mean, that's not going to happen. You need consensus. You can't just forcibly take somebody's property when they don't and put them into the city when they don't want to do that.
Do you remember what Daley did to Miggs? I mean, maybe you could. I don't know.
Let me say this to you. I think you're better off offering a carrot rather than a stick. And we should look at this entertainment district around O'Hare, which will generate tens of millions of dollars for our treasury in a cooperative way with our neighbors, rather than just saying, I'm going to annex you. People aren't going to do that. It's not going to happen.
You'd want casinos there? What's in this entertainment district?
Well, you don't have to necessarily put a casino there. You would have hotels, you'd have outlet malls, you'd have restaurants, you'd have theaters and entertainment like that. It would be Rosemont West. And it's far enough from Rosemont, separated by the 8,000 acres of O'Hare Airport. It's a different market. And it'll work and it'll generate money for us, just the way the McCormick Place District does. But remember, the McCormick Place District is a tax on our residents, whereas this Western Entertainment District west of O'Hare would be a tax on suburbanites and people using that area. So I think it's a win-win for both parties. But that's the way we have to think, to keep these bricks off the back of our taxpayers. Look, this is an untenable situation. We're the only major city in America losing people. We've lost 80,000 kids from our school system since when I was chairman. Unacceptable, unacceptable.
Well, that's because you have selective
part is
enrollment. I mean, we're screwed. My son got straight A's, MAP test, 95%, to perform poorly on the selective enrollment. Unlike the ACT and SAT, you can't retake that test. And now he's at Amundsen High School. He's doing well, but it's not a fair system. It's not.
No, I agree, and thankfully Amundsen's a good school system, but maybe we ought to have a retake, and maybe we ought to have more capacity for select enrollment. I'm looking at those things. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be forcing people out of this city by double taxation. When you can't get into a good selective enrollment school, fortunately, Amy, you chose Amundsen. A lot of people don't, and they go into their pocket for tuition. If we're lucky, they stay in the city, but they're paying double now.
Well, I would have sent my son to DePaul Prep, but we didn't have that. I'm not going to pay property taxes and then pay for tuition.
I agree. You're not alone.
I need a voucher.
We can't
start
force people into that situation.
Well, let me. You mentioned the entertainment district, restaurants. So Chicago is it's been like the restaurant capital of the country for some time. Certainly competitive with New York, and tourism is so important. Well, the governors, in infinite wisdom, just signed a $15 minimum wage into law. New York did that, And so we've got some results in from New York eateries. A survey done by the New York City Hospitality Alliance finds that 75% of respondents operating full-service restaurants reported they'll reduce employee hours this year because of the new wage increases, while 47% said they'll eliminate jobs in 2019, inducing sort of a restaurant recession, certainly on the employee side in New York City. So is that going to be helpful, what's been done at the state level and what it was being championed at the local level by all the Chicago Dem politicians? Is that going to be helpful to that scene in Chicago?
I think we're going to get through it, and it's going to be okay. Remember, this is a phase-in. This isn't $15 tomorrow. It's $15 over 4 or 5 years, which I think is acceptable. And let's face it, okay? You can't raise a family off of $20,000. It's just not possible. So, I mean, I think having a $15 an hour wage over time is the right thing to do, so we can allow people to actually get out of poverty. And I've been in support of that. And as long as it's not being done tomorrow or to shock the industry, I think we should be able to cope with these step-ups that I've seen over the next 4 or 5 years. Let's hope we don't have the same results that New York City poll's shown.
Well, but a lot of business owners that I know said they can't pay
the economics are the
$15
economics
an hour, and that people that have been longer, then he's going to have to raise everybody's salary, and that's another reason why they might shut down their business and move out of Illinois.
Yeah, but I don't know about that. I think, look, people want to be in the Chicago market. I mean, people aren't going to go live in another place just because their meal price went up 32 cents a meal. I don't see that happening. But look, at the end of the day, people have to be able to work and make a living that can sustain themselves. I just don't think $22,000 a year does it.
What about
when you have kids?
Yeah, I mean, okay, we can do an Econ 101 debate later, but I mean, what about, speaking of sustainability, so the median household income in Chicago is like $68,000, and the average median compensation for public sector workers in Chicago, which is a whole lot of them, since the top 4 employers in Chicago are all government, is a multiple of that, especially when you include the guaranteed pension dollars. So what are we going to do about a city that is functionally bankrupt and all of these obligations when 80% of the budget is personnel costs? Where are you going to cut headcount?
Well, in a lot of places, I've already called for the elimination of the clerks and the treasurer's offices. I mean, if you can tell me what either of those places does that we would keep them, it's beyond me. I mean, city stickers with 120 people, it doesn't make any sense. The treasurer's office can easily be incorporated into the Department of Finance. You can have an outside auditor to make sure that the books are right. That's a place I would start. I've also said that the Infrastructure Trust, which is $2 million a year out of the city treasury to fund this organization that hasn't built one project. I mean, I can keep going and going and going. I mean, how about this? How about having the proper amount of manpower on the payroll so we're not running overtime and seeing police officers being paid $250,000? Doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of places to manage better, be more efficient, and bring costs down. But at the same time, let's understand this. You have to grow this tax base. You just have to grow this tax base. I'm encouraged by the projects that I see in the city. People still want to be in this city in a big way. Look at Community 78. Look at Lincoln Yards. Those are massive investments in our city. We have to keep going that route. We have to keep building this city and bring the neighborhoods into the picture.
Now, Paul Vallis says that he's the one who left CPS as CEO of CPS with a $1 billion surplus. You're claiming the same. Who's right and who's wrong?
Oh, I think it's shared credit. I mean, I've given Paul a lot of credit for what he did over there, but it wasn't just Paul. It wasn't just me. There was an awful lot of people that made that system come around. How about starting with classroom teachers? I mean, the classroom I'm happy to talk about the fiscal results there, but I also want to talk about the academic ones. We had 6 straight years of test score growth. To me, that's important, and that's what people want out of the school system. Amy, you didn't go to Amundsen looking at the financials of Amundsen. You went to Amundsen because they could do something for your child, and that's why you made that decision.
I didn't really have a choice. I mean, my choices were Lakeview and Amundsen,
backed
to
into
be
it.
honest.
Yeah, right. And the Lakeview, that's where, those Jesse Smollett entourage went, so that's dangerous. Right. Yeah, right. A lot of fake assaults at
I love a lot
Lakeview.
of people who go to Lakeview High School.
Of course.
A lot of my former players go there.
So. Speaking of, since I invoked it, how would you assess the handling of the Smollett hoax, apparently, by the Chicago police?
Well, I thought... we obviously have a very good police department that did great detective work to get to the bottom of that, but obviously you got to look at what what happened by this perpetrator. I mean, what possesses a person to do this? I mean, because he was upset with his salary? Come on, this is outrageous.
Yeah, he only made.
We ought to.
He made $65,000, and then when the show was a hit, he made $100,000 an episode, and that wasn't enough.
An episode, correct? Not a year, not every 2 years, an episode. Here's what we need to do, in my view. Whether it's a plea bargain or it's a sentence, a condition of that sentence ought to be that Smollett does public service announcements for Chicago and what this city really meant to him for the next 4 to 5 months. We have to try to rebuild our reputation. And I was just thinking about this today. I remember all the stars and celebrities coming out to talk about how bad Chicago was when this purported incident happened. And now I just see a fraction of the tweets about this situation. I mean, look, there's got to be fairness in this thing. There's just got to be fairness. People, this city is a good city. At the essence of it, it's a good city. And to have that gentleman come here and use Chicago as the backdrop for his basically ploy to get his salary increased is just outrageous. I think the organizers of the show did the right thing by cutting him out of the last 2 episodes. And I think that as justice plays out here, you got to help us get our reputation back. There's a lot of good people in this city who took it in the chops over that one.
How about making restitution for the use of the police force?
Yeah, absolutely. That's part
and then
of
the
it,
hazmat
too. I mean,
crew.
we had 13 detectives working on this thing. For how many days? I mean, look, when I was on 79th Street the other day, I had mothers coming up to me telling me they haven't had any justice for their own kids that were killed.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see the resources of this department used on other cases, not fake ones.
Well, that's an important point you bring up. I wanted to reference this op-ed at foxnews.com, actually. My son was shot and killed in Chicago. Where's his national media attention? My name is Carmia Tang. My only child, Jeremy Alexander Tang, murdered in Chicago September 3rd of 2017. Jeremy's murder case is among more than 700 unsolved murders in Chicago. I'm disgusted by the national media attention that Smollett case has received. Meanwhile, right now, we have hundreds of mothers left with unanswered questions and unsolved cases. So what do you say to Ms. Tang?
We're going to do better. We have a horrible homicide clearance rate in this city, 17%. L.A. and New York, 80%. Why? We let our manpower go down. We let a lot of detectives retire. We never kept up with the numbers purely. And then when you look at the people that have just been promoted into the rank of detective, a lot of them are not as seasoned as the ones that retired. So we're just not getting the oomph on the solving of these cases. I mean, obviously we have a good detective force. They got to the bottom of the Smollett case pretty quickly, but we just need to focus on other things that are important in this city. That's why this gentleman's perpetration of this hoax is so egregious. I mean, we have people that really are waiting for answers on justice, and I want to get on it. We have to look. I said we had to redo the police department. We have to start with new leadership at the top. We have to institute community policing. We have to make sure our manpower levels are right. And we have to really go after these guns. I'm talking about the illegal guns, not conceal and carry permit, and get to the bottom of this problem and really drive it every day. That's what you got to do. It's got to be an obsession. And if you don't go at it that way, then you're not going to get the results you want.
He is Gary Chico, a Chicago mayoral candidate. He'll be on the ballot tomorrow. The website for more information on his candidacy, chicoformayor.com. Gary, thanks as always for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you both. Have a good day, okay?
Thank
you.
Yep. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer. A good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
Hey, I'm excited to tell you about a deal on the already modestly priced MyPillow Giza Dream Bed Sheets. They use the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in the region between the Sahara Desert and Mediterranean and Nile River.
Did you say Sahara or Sahara?
I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, it's over there.
Yeah,
and it's
sure.
ultra soft. Dan, it's breathable and extremely durable. It includes full 21-inch wide pillowcases that fit any pillow and deep pocket sheets that fit any mattress. And once you sleep on them, you won't want to sleep on anything else. They are the real deal that look good and feel great. I know, because I have 2 sets. And you'll sleep better, trust me. And you can still get, by the way, the MyPillow 4-pack offer, plus 30% off pet beds and those mattress toppers. And to get the Giza sheets, 30% off and free shipping offer. That's what you have to go to mypillow.com and type Amy, A-M-Y, in that promo code, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-500-5588. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-500-5588 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-500-5588 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-500-5588.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I believe that your company has the answer because I've been through cancer treatment and knowing what it does to the body, and oh my, if that's all that medical science has to offer, there must be a better way, and I think the better way is knowing what to eat and getting it. I do notice that I have less inflammation. I feel like when I'm taking Balance of Nature, I'm getting fruits and vegetables more than what I would ordinarily get. I like when I open up the bottles, you can really smell the fruits and vegetables. I mean, I know I'm getting fruits and vegetables.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 20% off any first preferred order of Balance of Nature and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, tomorrow will be fun. We're out into the hustings. We start our Signature Bank business tour, and we'll be broadcasting live from the Signature Bank outpost in Edison Park.
Yeah, and people
so come on by.
Come and visit us. Get a free donut. I'm sure they'll have all the accoutrements.
Well, very good use of the word accoutrement. And bring something
A word
in
with
order
Amy.
to take something.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
come bearing gifts.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
food.
Come on.
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Quinn McCarthy and John Beckett, who's filling in today. We'll see you bright and early back here. Well, we're not back here, but we'll be on the air at 5 a.m. Don't forget, Election Day is tomorrow. Vote and get your friends out to vote. Now here's Mike Scott.
Strong wind slammed Chicago, 6 displaced by a West Side fire, and mayoral candidates pushing for votes ahead of tomorrow's election. Blackhawks lose to the Stars. Bulls host the Bucks tonight. WIND Chicago News Time, 9.
He's optimistic about the trip he's about to take.